Happy Tuesday. I'm the Grace Strega, and I'm here to give you your daily collective read for today. We are going to get started on today's daily collective read, but if you would like to get on the list, the list for today is open. As always, it is 3 cards for a donation of 29 or more, 4 cards for a donation of 23 or more for my subscribers. Links in my bio. Please keep in mind there are 2 things I do not read for across these apps. Those are pregnancy and medical. Happy to give insight on anything in private readings, and you can book private readings on my site. We are also doing 2 giveaways today. Our first reading giveaway is going to be a free reading for the highest gifter between now and the conclusion of the daily collective read. So I wish you a lot of luck if you're participating in that giveaway. The other giveaway we'll be doing today is a reading giveaway when we get to 50K likes. So make sure that you're tapping that screen and we'll get to 50K in no time. Prior to beginning today's daily collective read, I will be giving a brief recap on what we've been seeing in the cards over the last few days. If you would like to catch that full reading, you can find it over on the place where we keep the videos. You can also find it over on the place where we keep the photos. You can also find it as a podcast over on my spot at Tarot Church and over on my stack. But before we begin today, most important question: how are you doing? Scale of 1 to 10. So here's the thing about about what we're currently experiencing. Now, as you may be aware, we've got a lot of planets and planetary bodies that are currently in retrograde. Now, the bright side on that was that yesterday, one of those planets stationed direct. However, one of the things that we recognize when it comes to retrograde energy is that it can create a lot of feeling of intensity. Now, the one planet that has moved out of retrograde is Pluto. And the thing with that is, if there's any planet that was going to come out of retrograde, that was going to potentially make things feel less intense, Pluto is not that planet. In fact, it could potentially feel, and I've been describing this, like Pluto in retrograde can sometimes feel a bit like an energetic easement point. It can feel more, it can add a level of surrealness to things. So if you're feeling a little bit of that heft, if you're feeling a little bit of that weight, that is potentially why. We also have the fact that we see that Venus is also moving into Libra as well. And so the thing with that too is, and I need to stress this, Venus in Libra also does not necessarily help in the realms of feeling less intense. In fact, it can feel like it can create more intensity. So if you're experiencing this right now, where you're feeling a lot of that heaviness, I want you to understand and recognize, not overly internalizing upon it. Just recognize that it is effectively the vibe right now. As always, especially when we're going through prolonged retrograde season, self-care is key. Making sure that you're prioritizing care of the self. Make sure that you're communicating upon your needs effectively so that they can be received. No harboring in energy like this. I'm telling you right now. And the reason I'm saying that, and the reason I don't want you in a space where you're energetically harboring things right now, is because in a couple of days, we've got Neptune sliding back into Pisces. And so, it can often do a number on our emotions, particularly and especially as it deals with the realm of the memory. So just be effectively mindful of that. You may even be feeling a lot of those feelings coming up right now. But again, working through, and I kind of want to articulate upon this, the ability to help navigate right now with a sense of purpose, and allowing for that purpose to guide you. We talked a lot about this. We talked a lot about this in the Mystic Meditation article that I wrote, navigating through this most recent full moon that we experienced. I'm going to be writing about it very soon in terms of the new moon we're going through, because, and I got to describe this here. We got, I needed to like just, I need to just work you through it. We've got a lot of planets right now. Like we got a lot of planets in retrograde. Okay. We got a bunch of planets now jammed up in Scorpio, and we've got Pluto having station direct. So it can create like, that's a lot of things happening at once. And the thing about those things happening is, um, it can create a lot of space where it becomes very easy to project. So reject the feeling of projection, and instead allow one's own sense of being able to articulate upon the sense or space of the, I keep on getting like the sense or space of acknowledgement and relationality to being able to define the self, to help base and contextualize the framework of the work that we're doing right now. Now this is having, and I just like, if you see me putting my hand in my head, the reason I'm putting my hand in my head is having a different impact depending on where we find ourselves on the frequency cycles. And I just got to tell you right now, one of the things that we're seeing that's happening is, and we were reading into it yesterday. These are some of the most complicated readings that I've had to give, and the reason that those readings are so energetically complicated right now has to do with the fact that we are going through moon lessons. And the thing about moon lessons is, it's not surprising to see it. We're going to be talking about it a lot in the class that we're teaching tomorrow, based around the moon card, is that it works through the context of phases. We've got at least 3 different phases that are happening right now for the energy in separation. Now, there is some kind of energy of catharsis that's happening in some of those pockets, in some of those modalities, but it is, I keep on getting, it is the ability, it is the ability to articulate upon how much one has changed. It's being able to speak upon that journey. It's the ability to be able to like talk. And I feel like there's something really beautiful in that space as well, because some of the energy that I'm seeing as it relates to restoration is not necessarily restoration to be able to heal a connection, but being able to articulate the full depth of meaning in relationality to what another person has received from one, right? The ability to be able to let another person know that some type of path work was not wasted, right? It's almost like the acknowledgement point that we're identifying in relationality to another person, being able to speak towards their own maturation as a gift to help another person through their own healing journey. Now, at the same time that we see that that is occurring, we also see some sealed separation energy. And the thing that we keep on identifying with that sealed separation energy right now has to do with the context, or in the space of being able to identify and recognize the difference, right? The framework by which another person is able to articulate upon how much one has changed, versus those situations or circumstances where it doesn't necessarily feel like someone has changed, but they're coming back to see or to check if another person is energetically emotional in the context of them holding an energetic standard. And that's why we keep on seeing that for a lot of those relationships or a lot of those energies, that ability to effectively kind of see the difference, potentially even experiencing and knowing within the self what would effectively be needed to allow the contextualization point of something transformative to occur, but rather another person coming towards us to see if we're still feeling emotional about moving towards our manifestation goals. We see that there may be a lot of that moment of catharsis that's happening, but the catharsis that is building one's own energetic resolve and relationality to what one is working on doing better. Now, this brings us to these new relationships that are forming right now. And the thing about these new relationships that are forming right now in this energy, and I just need to articulate it, because the thing that's so wild about those relationships or those situations right now has to do, I just keep on saying, it has to do with the context or with the observation of the fact. And I need to keep on here, like the reason I keep on laughing about it, it has to do with all that scorpionic energy that we're currently going through right now. these relationships are finding each other at a moment of profound transformation. And a lot of that transformation, the ability to see and articulate and find a mutuality point in relationality to manifestation goals. I keep on seeing that it's almost like I keep on hearing the energy that says we have to go backwards in order to go forwards, because the energy has been hurt before by those that articulate upon the desire for a manifestation goal, but lack having done the effective shadow work necessary in order to energetically achieve it. And what do we mean by shadow work? We effectively mean the ability of recognizing and identifying one's own energetic hurdles, one's own spaces by which we sometimes experience, and we all have these, right? Like the work of the self is one that we effectively identify and recognize what it is that we're trying to resolve within ourselves. But we keep on seeing that, especially in relationality to that, those relationships having experienced profound hurt and disappointment by another person, not fully, I keep wondering, not fully embodying or embracing what is energetically, I keep on hearing like what is energetically needed to allow for that space of change. This is why they're going through the past experience. They're articulating upon that energetic history, because I keep on seeing that it's the space by which they're able to find the stabilization of the similarity of past experience that is framing the sense of energetic fortitude that they have in relationality to what it is that they're moving towards. But I keep on seeing it's slow. And it's like, I want to say, like, even to a certain extent, there's a little bit of, there's like a little bit of I keep on getting like healthy cynicism that is framing the context of these relationships. But that healthy cynicism that we're effectively seeing is them holding hope in relationality to what they're observing, but they're not allowing that hope to cloud their own sense of clarity. Now, this brings us to those temperance relationships. And those temperance relationships were coming together for the purposes of our readings between the time of the Uranus going retrograde up until the time of the solstice period. These relationships right now, I got to tell you, they are weathering the storm to a certain extent. And why do we see those temperance relationships right now weathering the storm? Because what we're effectively seeing, I'm getting here, they're going through a solar plexus opening that is requiring control of the heart space. And why are we seeing that they're going through a solar plexus opening that's requiring control of the heart space? Because they're going through Neptune lessons. This is really fascinating. We were like, and again, the readings right now have been very intriguing, because we're basically been describing that the temperance relationships are going through Neptune lessons. The energy deep within divine union is going through Saturn lessons. Now, what is the differentiation point between a Neptune lesson and a Saturnine lesson? A Neptune lesson, for a lot of these relationships, the ability to build into healthy partnership, they articulated upon, they've gone through some really, really heavy trauma. When I tell you that those temperance relationships have strong foundations, they have strong foundations because of the trauma that they effectively endured. They articulated upon it. They alighted to it. But they didn't go into, I keep wondering, they didn't go into the full breadth of it. And the reason that they didn't go into the full breadth of it, as it were, has to do with the fact that the energy effectively, I keep on hearing, they've already resolved it within the self. They'd already experienced it. They'd already kind of worked it out. And that's why I keep on hearing that this is the energy that almost feels energetically obligated to articulate that to counterpart, not in the sense that they need to, but in the sense that they want to share. They're coming into a deeper understanding of care by sharing more about themselves. And so what we're effectively seeing in those experiences is this is the energy of the counterpart receiving the energetic burden of trauma that already happened in the past, and further trauma that's been resolved by counterpart in the past. And so working through the activation, feeling energetically activated upon something that's already happened. It's requiring an expansion point because they may necessarily feel a desire to do something, but what are they doing? They're honoring the counterpart's healing journey, right? They're carrying it the way that the counterpart would aspire and desire that they carry it. And so that's why it's the equivalent of the solar plexus opening, but then the control of the heart space, because they're not necessarily doing what their heart is inclining them to do in order to be energetically mindful of the energetic connection of counterpart. So again, it's potentially feeling it's like working through that type of complication that's immediately leading to energetic expansion. They're processing, and they're finding room to kind of hold that. The energy that is deep within divine union right now, the energy that is deep within divine union right now is working through, they're working through Saturn lessons. And what's hard about that is there's something about that journey, something about that observational point that's recontextualizing, right? The energy right now that is moving deep into divine union is recontextualizing something from the past in a big way. And why are they effectively recontextualizing something in the past in a massive way? Because the energy, every time I read into this energy, I just keep on hearing healthy energy wants to see us steadfast. Healthy energy wants to see us steadfast. These magician partnerships that were coming together between the time of the solstice period up until the time of Mercury and Venus stationing direct behind Neptune. This is the energy that we recognize or identify. They've been in partnership before, but they've never centered in a partnership like the one that they actively are experiencing. And that pathwork of centering is potentially, if it's having an impact on relationships outside of partnership, it is the observational point in seeing the difference between the what feels like the energy that feels supportive to the self, that wants to see one in the highest version of self, versus energy that is harboring feelings in relationality to seeing another person in that modality or in that experience. So that's why I keep on seeing that they're working through that. They're recognizing the fact that they can't change the way another person feels. They're allowing time, right? They're giving it to time. They're going through like a pseudo Saturn return, which is, we're not surprised to see that given the fact that Saturn slipped back into Pisces. They're giving that work to time, but they're developing a lot of feelings about it. There's a lot of emotionality there. And so I keep on seeing that this is the energy that is offering one another catharsis as they go through that heavy energetic process. Now, that is where we find all of the energy prior to beginning today's daily collective read. But if you would like to catch that full reading, you can find it over on the place where we keep the videos. You can also find it over on the place where we keep the photos. You can also find it over as a podcast over on my spot at Tarot Church and over on my stack. I would also like to invite you to join us tomorrow night at 6 p.m. PST, 9 p.m. Eastern. We will be continuing our studies in the tarot with a study on the moon card. And if you'd like to become a part of that tarot class program, all you need to do is head on over to my stack and become a paid subscriber. Your paid subscription to my stack is your ticket of entry into our live classes each and every month. As a monthly subscriber, you will also have access to over 9 hours worth of material in the Tarot Church Library class archive. Now, it's not necessary to catch up. I'll be doing my best to give you an update on everything that we've studied thus far. You'll also have access to a one-on-one chat with me and the other students to ask any questions that you may have in relation to anything we've learned and studied thus far. And if you become a founding member to my stack, not only will you receive the whole access to the entirety of the Tarot Church Library class archive, but you'll also have access to a complimentary one-on-one mentorship class with me, where I will meet with you personally to assess where you are on your own personal tarot journey, and effectively allow you to be able to build you into your own context in terms of reading and interpreting the cards in the best way possible. That said, I hope you guys have an absolutely beautiful day, and we'll do this again tomorrow. And that said, we're also going to be starting, the list is now open today. If you would like to get on the list for a personal reading, it is 3 cards for a donation of $29 or more, 4 cards for a donation of $23 or more for my subscribers. Links in my bio. Please keep in mind there are 2 things I don't read for across these apps: pregnancy and medical. Happy to give insight on anything in private readings, and you can book private readings on my site. Grand Rising Jana, good to see you today. How are you doing? Yay. Grand Rising Celestial, hope you're having a beautiful start to your day. Good to see you today, Alexandra, as well. Ella, good to see you too. I know that feeling you're having, Alexandra. I'm going to tell you, it's the combination of Pluto going direct with Mars and Mercury in Scorpio right now, and the fact that the moon's in Leo. Right? It's. I told you. Remember when I said? Remember when I said that there was the moment right now with like the heart expansion, like the controlled heart space. It's a lot of that. Like that's what you're probably picking up on. And thank you as well, Jana. Thank you so much for those gifts. Diana, welcome. Happy Tuesday. I'm doing well. How are you doing today? Grand Rising, Bridget. Thank you for sharing the live. Always appreciate when you guys share the live. Thank you as well, Kim. Highness, thank you for sharing the live. Thank you for the compliment, Seaside. And Guala, thank you for the follow. Grand Rising, Highness. Good to see you today, Kimberly. Bridget, I'm feeling super depleted, trying to keep going. I can rest on Thursday. Again, make sure you're prioritizing rest, because I told you there's a lot of this energetic intensity that we're currently experiencing right now. Good to see you, Kirby. How are you doing today? And Kimberly, thank you for those gifts as well. Hey, you got on the list. I know I got you on the list, Hannah. You've also going to have an additional card because you got on early. I will point out, friends, I'm going to be keeping the list a little short today. So if you'd like to get on the list, please do so sooner rather than later. If you'd like to claim a spot on the list, if you are on the hold list, please let me know so I can add you back to the list. I know. I called you. No, it's no problem, Hannah. No, you didn't miss everything, Bridget. And Bad, thank you so much for those heart me's. Ella, thank you as well. Oh, Miss M. Moon. Oh, make sure that you're resting right now. I hope you feel better soon. As I mentioned, friends, we are going to get started on our daily collective read in the next few minutes. If you would like to get on the list right now, you will be the 3rd person read for. 3 cards. Ella, I'm happy to add you on the list as well. Welcome. You are also on the list. If anybody else wants to get on the list for today, you'll be the 4th person read for. 3 cards for a donation of $29 or more. 4 cards for a donation of, no problem, dear, of $23 or more for my subscribers. Links in my bio. Please keep in mind there are 2 things I don't read for across these apps: pregnancy and medical. Happy to give insight on anything in private readings, and you can book private readings on my site. And thank you guys for supporting each other in the comments. As I mentioned, a couple of updates, guys. We've got tarot class tomorrow. Are you ready? I am excited. We're going to go over the moon card. We're going to be studying the history of that card, the symbology. Going to be going through spread applications, how you can read that card in any direction it may appear in your own readings. I'm also going to be showing you guys a unique spread to help you channel the messages of the moon card into your own readings. And all you need to do, if you would like to become a part of that tarot class program, is head on over to my stack and become a paid subscriber. Your paid subscription to my stack is your ticket of entry into our live classes each and every month. You will also, as I mentioned, as a paid subscriber, have access to over 9 hours worth of material in the Tarot Church Library class archive. It's not necessary to catch up. I'll be giving you guys an update on everything we've studied prior to beginning that class. You'll also have access to a complimentary, you'll also have access to a one-on-one chat with me and the other students to ask any questions that you may have in relation to anything we have learned or studied thus far. And if you become a founding member to my stack, not only will you receive a discount on the full year's worth of readings, not only will you have a discount on the full year's worth of classes, you'll also have access to the entirety of the Tarot Church Library Class Archive. That is access to over 19 hours worth of material in an ever expanding library. You'll also have access to a complimentary one-on-one mentorship class with me, and where I will meet with you to assess where you are on your own personal tarot journey and give you the best insights in terms of how to utilize those classes to the best advantage going towards your tarot goals moving forward. As I mentioned before, one of the things I tried to do in these classes was make them accessible to the absolute novice tarot reader as well as the seasoned reader. Definitely something there for everyone. Don't let that lack of experience or robust experience, thank you, Hannah, prevent you from joining us in those classes. And even if you don't become a paid subscriber in my stack, I would encourage you to follow me there to stay up to date on any new offerings or services. I also post my weekly newsletter there, which will let you know about my in-person events as well as my online live schedule. You'll also have access to my mystic meditation articles, which will let you know about what we've been experiencing or seeing energetically in the cards in article form. I just wrote one recently on this full moon that we experienced. I'll be writing one in the next few days about navigating this new moon energy we've got coming up. I also want to let you guys know that on top of my standard life path readings, I also offer mentorship classes. These are for any of my students seeking a more personalized educational experience with me. I take a very limited number of students for this reason, as those classes are focused on each individual's personal spiritual goals and journey work. Those classes can be purchased on an individual level or as a monthly class series, weekly or bi-weekly, as your schedule permits. Also, for my students that are seeking more consistent weekly tarot support, I'm very happy to offer weekly tarot insight packages. That is a package of 4 30-minute readings, again, weekly or bi-weekly, as your schedule permits, so that you can stay more consistent on your personal journey. I'm also very happy to now offer dream interpretation readings, which you can purchase per dream or as a series. If you purchase the series, I would encourage you to start to keep a dream journal, as we will meet weekly or bi-weekly with that journal and utilize the tarot to understand the key themes and messages coming towards you in the dream space. That said, we are going to get started on today's daily collective read in the next few minutes. If you'd like to get on the list for today, it's a great time to get on the list. You'll be the 4th person read for. I am also stressing the list is going to be kept short today. So if you'd like to get on the list, please make sure you do so sooner rather than later. 3 cards for a donation of $29 or more, 4 cards for a donation of $23 or more for my subscribers. Links in my bio. Please keep in mind there are 2 things I don't read for across these apps: pregnancy and medical. Happy to give insight on anything in private readings, and you can book private readings on my site. That said, I'm going to take a moment to read over some of the comments that came through as I was reading. Just bear with me one moment. Excellent. How are you doing today? And Jana, thank you for becoming a member of the fan club. Please remember that members, super fans, all receive 1 card readings each day. So thank you so much for becoming a part of that. And also, guys, if you are a subscriber, please make sure that you're recharging your heart knees if you would like an animal spirit guide card on top of your 1 card reading today. And you're welcome, Ella. Little Vamp, your subscription's ending soon if you'd like to renew. I know the month went by really fast, didn't it, Bridget? The moon is suiting. Yes. Oh, sorry. I don't know what the form was. Just popped out of nowhere. Yeah. So anyone who's interested in getting more information about the class program, you can go ahead and fill out that form as well. Hannah, thank you for those gifts, dear. And Haley, your subscription's ending soon if you'd like to renew. Yep. It's okay. I was trying to post it there. I hope I wasn't, oh, there it is. Hold on a minute. Okay, perfect. Thank you so much, dear. Oh, I didn't let me fill in the request, I think. It's okay. I mean, if you're already a member of the class program, then filling out the form isn't necessary. It's effectively for anyone who is interested in getting more information about the classes. Perfect. Yep, I understand. Just never seen it before. And thank you, M Moonlight, for the follow. As I mentioned, friends, we are going to get started on today's daily collective read in the next few minutes. If you would like to get on the list for today, the list is open. You'll be the fourth person read for. I'm going to stress the list will be kept tight today. So if you would like to get on the list, please do so sooner rather than later. And we'll be happy to add you to the list. That said, before we get started, why don't we warm up those intuition muscles with an intuition check? All right, I've got the animal spirit guide cards here. I'm going to count back from 10, and when we get to 1, I will reveal the card. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We got the Earth Dragon. Thank you guys so much for participating. We'll do that again after the next reading. I'm happy to, yes, you can absolutely, I've already got you on the list, dear, and you're the first person on the list today. So, and if anybody else wants to get on the list right now, you'll be the fourth person read for. 3 cards for a donation of 29 or more, 4 cards for a donation of 23 or more for my subscribers. Links in my bio. Please keep in mind there are 2 things I don't read for across these apps: pregnancy and medical. Happy to give insight on anything in private readings, and you can book private readings on my site. That said, if you guys no better time than the present, why don't we get started? Welcome, everyone. Happy Tuesday. I'm the Grace Strega, and I'm here to give you your daily collective read for today, Tuesday, October 14th, 2025. What do we have coming through on the cards for today? Can I please have the first 2 cards in our 5-card spread today? First 2 cards we are starting our day off with today are our 3 of Cups in its reversal in combination with our 8 of Pentacles in its reversal. So let's talk a little bit about this energy that we're currently experiencing, because it's a lot, right? I want to describe this, and the thing I keep on seeing is the fact we had a bunch of planets that were currently in retrograde. And as I mentioned before the podcast started, yesterday, we had like the last few days, we had one of those planets come out of retrograde. Now, typically when a planet comes out of retrograde, it should make things feel less intense. But the thing is, the planet that has come out of retrograde is the planet of intensity. It's a planet of intensity. It's Pluto. It's like it's like Pluto is the intense energy. And even the way I was describing it, like a Pluto in retrograde often creates a sense of surrealness, right? It creates a little bit of that energetic surrealness point. And so, I want you to kind of, if you're feeling or you're working through that intensity, I want you to be energetically proportional about it. I don't want you to take it. I keep on hearing like, I don't want you overly internalizing upon the intensity of Pluto stationing direct, is what I keep on seeing. Just allow it to effectively kind of build into the context of what it is that you're trying to do better, because everything I keep on seeing there's something I keep on hearing. There's something about regulating or calibrating upon that requires, I keep on seeing it requires a lot of that. I keep on getting, it's the intensification that allows us to be able to identify and recognize what it is that we're trying to do better, is what I keep on seeing. And the other thing I keep on seeing about that as well is, and it's having the other thing that we have to recognize that's happening too, that potentially could also be creating a little bit more of that intense feeling, is the fact that we also have the fact that Libra has moved into Venus. And Libra moving into Venus can have a lot to do with working through proportionality or working through energetic proportions. So make sure, I keep on getting like, make sure that you're not overly internalizing upon that. But we're going to talk a lot about what impact that is having depending on where one finds oneself on the frequency cycles, because I just keep on seeing there's and we saw this, we saw this yesterday. We saw this yesterday in the spread, because, and I keep on hearing the energy in separation is currently going through an energetic array, right? And the reason I keep on seeing it's going through an array is because when we were trying to do the reading yesterday, the cards went, instead of to 3, they went to 4, which is like, typically I was trying to draw less cards and we had more. Now, the reason we're potentially having that happen is because we're working through moon lessons, and moon lessons have a lot to do with navigating or working through the context or the space of nuance. So for a lot of the energy doing that work right now, I keep on seeing it's navigating, it's navigating the complexities of circumstances or situations. It's working through energetic nuance. Now, for the energy that is in separation, remember we were articulating upon the fact that we saw 3 different modalities that were effectively occurring in separation. There is the situation or experience in terms of building towards the energetic resolve of the self, right? Being able to identify and recognize what one is trying to do in a better way, feeling energetically fortified about that. Now, that's what I meant in relationality to seeing some deep catharsis that's coming through in separation that is allowing someone to feel fortified on their healing journey. The ability or the adaptability of effectively being given something. I keep on hearing given something to another that almost articulates or amplifies the feeling of something. I keep on hearing articulates or amplifies the feeling of something that was energetically valuable, right? The gift, I keep on hearing like the gift of feeling that sense of valuability, or the gift of understanding something in that context. I keep on seeing that it is energetically reaffirming. It's something that builds into the context of one's own sense or center of resolve. But I also feel like it's also like stirring up a lot of emotionality. Now, what's not happening, and this is at the same time that we're seeing a lot of that, I keep on getting like the space of deep friendship, the ability to be able to rectify or heal something via the conversation and relationality to the distance by which one has changed or transformed. What is not healing in these contexts or are spaces or places wherein another person feels like they are checking on another person, right? Like the space by which I keep on getting the same message in terms of understanding that when we're feeling emotional, that emotionality holds true when we feel that there is an energetic standard upon which we're feeling emotional about. And this is why, if these were situations or circumstances wherein there were separations due to a lack of clear manifestation goal, and in the same experience, someone returns back in the same context, returns back in the same way, by which not necessarily having changed, but it's continuing. I keep on hearing like continuing to effectively see if another person is feeling emotional about something. That's what I keep on seeing in terms of being able to identify and recognize and feel that energetic resolve that allows one to feel fortified in terms of the direction that one is heading upon. So it's just, I keep on seeing it's like welcome to that moon and Leo energy, right? It's the building of one's own energetic resolve. Now, for the energy that is coming into relationship right now, I just got to keep on telling you guys, these relationships that are coming together right now, it's the same message I just keep on hearing over and over and over, which is in order to go forward, they have to go backward, right? In order to do that work in terms of being able to recognize and identify what it is that they're creating for themselves, there is such a similarity. I keep on saying there is such a similarity in manifestation that they're building clarity in terms of being able to articulate upon each other's history, to see I keep on hearing to see if the manifestation and the energetic history align, right? If there's that I keep on hearing like the alignment that is required that allows one to be able to feel energetically fortified in terms of that direction is what I keep on getting. So everything that keeps on happening in those experiences or in those situations, it's it's like I keep on getting it's like they're building into the viability of the manifestation goal. They're building into the context of like, and I feel like even now, like there's a little bit of this like there's a little bit of this energy here of like healthy cynicism, because it's the space by which they're holding hope, but they're not allowing that hope to distort their own sense of energetic clarity. Center card for today's spread, and this is going to get us into the temperance relationships. And for the purposes of our readings, the temperance relationships were the relationships that were coming together between the time of Uranus stationing going retrograde up until the time of the solstice. The energy that's coming into divine union right now is really going through it. And why are we seeing that the energy coming into union right now is really going through it? Because and it's hard because I don't have a word. I keep on trying to find the word to describe it because it's a very intense um it's a very intense feeling, and I want to describe it, and it has more to do with steadfastness. Okay, because I need to work you through the energetic complication of what the temperance relationships are going through right now. So the temperance relationships have been through a lot of trauma, and it's not that they didn't fully unpack the trauma to one another at the time that they were entering partnership. But I keep on seeing that a lot of those relationships, they didn't want the counterpart to see them purely in the space by which something happened to them, is what I keep on getting. And so they're building into a level of degree of care for one another that they're feeling more inclined to share. They're feeling more inclined to open up about something. They're feeling more inclined to articulate and speak towards it. And this is why I keep on seeing that for a lot of these relationships or a lot of these situations, um, that ability to effectively the what's basically happening is they're giving each other more information about the past. And it's like I keep on hearing like they're it's like I keep on getting they're giving each other more information about a painful past. And what's hard about that is there's a solar plexus opening that's happening there in terms of them opening up. But then it's requiring the energy to hold something the way that the counterpart would aspire it to be held. And that's what's energetically difficult, because it's the working through the energetic complication of a Neptune lesson, which is not the space by which they want to reawaken the past by bringing it into the context of the present, but being energetically mindful of where they're finding counterpart on their healing journey in terms of how they themselves are choosing to carry it, that may even feel counterintuitive to what they themselves might do if they were actively experiencing that. And I keep on hearing I keep on hearing it, they're working through the unresolved feelings of a past that is not theirs. And they're working to find space within themselves to hold it. So it's very difficult, because I keep on hearing it's like a solar plexus opening that requires heart control, right? And so it's hard and it's difficult, but the energy is like I told you, they're learning, they're working through what it means to be energetically steadfast. Now, this brings us to the energy deep within divine union. These are those magician partnerships which were coming together between the time of the solstice up until the time of Mercury and Venus stationing direct behind Neptune. 2 cards to clarify, please. Clarification coming through right now with our 9 of Swords in its upright in combination with our Death card energy. Now, this has a lot to do. The thing is the same thing that we were seeing as it were, what we were effectively articulating upon. And I just need to kind of like bring this forward. So remember how I said that the energy coming into divine union right now is working through Neptune lessons. The energy deep within divine union are working through Saturn lessons. And why is the energy working through Saturn lessons? Because for a lot of those energies working through, I keep on hearing working through Saturn lessons, that observation, I keep on getting that observation of effectively identifying and recognizing um, the space by which they're seeing energetic. I keep on hearing the energy has been in relationship before, but they've never centered in a relationship like the one that they're currently experiencing. And seeing, I keep on seeing the changes. There's potentially seeing changes outside of partnership. Potentially the difference, I keep on getting the difference between energy effectively celebrating a moment that they feel centered versus um, versus carrying rumination upon it. This is why I keep on getting that there's like a lot of that feeling of intensity, because they're recalibrating the past based upon the context of the present. And so a lot of that recalibration, as it were, it's heavy. It's I keep on getting it's heavy, it's upsetting, but and I keep on seeing it's also allowing the observation of going through a maturation process. And that's why we keep on seeing that maturation process, as it were, is the maturation process is effectively allowing the space by which another person is able to build catharsis with counterpart, in terms of, I keep on getting building catharsis from counterpart in terms of what they, I keep on getting what they expected versus what they're actively experiencing. And there's a lot of, I keep on hearing there's a lot of that. I keep on getting, it's like an auric cleansing, but it's an intense auric cleansing. Continuing to get clarification between our Three of Cups in its reversal, between and our Eight of Pentacles in its reversal. One card to clarify, please. Ooh, we've got here the Hierophant in its reversal. So what are we seeing with that Hierophant in its reversal? This is interesting. The energy that's in separation right now, I want to kind of describe this as, and how do I put this best? The energy that's in separation right now is effectively, and I wanted, like, this is, there's, I need to describe this very specifically because, and this is what I meant in terms of um, this energy being like helpful or hurtful, depending on how much of one's own shadow work that one has worked upon doing, which is the understanding. I keep on getting the understanding of the context of the self. It's the ability to, I keep on getting, it's the ability to kind of work through one's own transformational journey. And the thing about, I need to, and like the thing we kind of articulate upon that, and the thing with the Hierophant in its reversal is, and I want to describe this, that Hierophant in its reversal for the energy in separation right now is the ability to effectively releasing, I keep on getting releasing expectations, but allowing the context of observation is what I keep on seeing. And I feel like that is what, like that is what is kind of, and it has more to do with the space by which we were articulating upon healthy cynicism. Because you'll remember how I said that we're going through, and we're going to be talking about a lot of this in the moon class tomorrow. But the space by which we and it's like it's the space by which we hold a manifestation but we don't allow the manifestation to distort our perception in relationality to what is energetically occurring, is what I keep on seeing. Right? Like that is like that's what we talk about in relationality to how we build. Like we build in a healthy way when we hold healthy cynicism towards things. And you have to understand, I need to point this out because this is what I mean about the complication or the nuance of this type of energy. Um, when one is energetically cynical, it is the observation or the feeling of frustration that nothing ever changes, right? But when one holds healthy cynicism towards things, it is the observation that everything is continually changing, right? It's the observation of the force of transformation that allows one the context of being able to understand and to work through that adaptability point. So, there's something I keep on getting. There's something of a lot of energetic import that's happening right now for the energy in separation, because the and it has to do, and this is I keep on hearing, like this is the context by which we're seeing where the energy is and why there are so many different layers right now or phases in the energy of separation, because it is not just the identification point of I keep wondering, it's not just the identification point of energetic return, it's the identification point of return combined with transformation, right? What allows one to be able, the difference between going forwards versus going energetically backwards. And so everything about that we're effectively seeing is, I keep on seeing, like there's a lot of that energy that is feeling really fortified as it relates to their direction sense. And I keep on hearing, and this is what's interesting about it, because you'll recall that often the energies, often the frequencies, the messages move through them. And I'm actually getting that today is a little bit of an alignment day, because I keep on hearing the same message that says healthy energy wants to see us steadfast, which is the space by which I keep on hearing the energy in separation is finding confidence to talk about what it is that they aspire for in partnership. The energy that is healing in the context of separation right now is, like I keep on getting, it's almost the energy saying, take this, you need this. I should have given this to you a long time ago, right? Is what I keep on hearing. It's like the space by which another person is acknowledging the work of the past in some kind of like tangible way. And we see here that this is also the energy, like this is also um the energy that is building into new relationship, that is fortifying their confidence in one another by articulating upon their history, right? So all of that I keep on seeing, like all of it is articulating upon the refinement of the manifestation goal. Now this brings us to the energy, like this brings us to the energy that is moving deeper into divine union right now. And these were those temperance partnerships that we spoke about. Clarification between our Eight of Pentacles in its reversal and our World card in its reversal. One card to clarify. We've got here the two. We've got here the Two of Wands in its upright. So let's talk a little bit about, and I got to stress this right now, like these temperance relationships, when I read into them right now, there is, I just want to describe it as I just keep on seeing, I just want to describe it as a lot of energy that is working through something. And and the thing that I keep on hearing, the thing that is upsetting them in relationality to what it is that they're receiving from counterpart is working. I keep hearing they're working through the understanding of effectively looking towards something and saying, there's the acknowledgement point that if they had found each other sooner, something would have never happened, is what I keep on getting. That is the level of the trauma that I see that they're going through with one another. Like that is like, it's almost like I keep on seeing the energy that's feeling the frustration about having not been able to be there for one another, right? It's like the energy that understands that they feel the longing to repair. And that's the hard part about it. They feel the longing to repair something that has already been repaired, right? It's like the energy that has been repairing it. They found each other in the act of repairing it. And that's why the energy is like working through the expansion point of navigating those emotions, navigating those experiences. Because I keep on seeing that this is the energy that is working on expanding so that they don't take action upon something in the past that makes the past the present. It's like it's a lot of that leave it back there. I think it's interesting. It's not put it back, it's leave it back there, right? It's like let it be, like let it be behind, is what I keep on getting. So for a lot of the energy doing that work, I just keep on seeing that it's like it's working through that right now. And it's like it's working through those unresolved feelings, right? And I keep on hearing that I see the energy going, I don't know where to put them. Like I don't know where to put them. They don't have the capacity within the self to put them somewhere. So they're working on internal expansion. Now, the energy that's deep within divine union, these are those magician partnerships, which clarification between our world card in its reversal and the nine of swords in its upright. One card to clarify, please. We've got here the five of wands, in its upright. And I just gotta stress this right now. I'm gonna keep on saying this. Um, this type of energy, if you're not doing your work well enough, can create a lot of sense of projection. It's just, it's like it's working through the projection of the self. It's working through projecting something outwards. So I want you to be very mindful if you're experiencing that, because I keep on hearing, um, we are not responsible for others' projections. And I keep on getting, we're not responsible for others' projections, beyond, like beyond the space that we I keep on hearing, beyond the space that and the way I keep on hearing, the way you can tell the difference between a projection and something that one needs to work upon is a healthy conversation. And if you don't like hearing that, I'm going to say it again, right? The way we navigate, okay? The way we navigate a projection is via a healthy conversation, right? Because I keep on pointing out, when we are energetically projecting, when we are energetically projecting, then it is the space by which we are not necessarily wanting to face something, but we effectively, like we are like, and I keep on hearing, projection is the force of trauma. Okay, like it is the force of trauma. When we create projections, we just traumatize each other over and over and over again. So the space by which we heal is the space by which we talk about things, right? Right. And here's the thing about it, the ego prefers to project, right? it's convenient that the ego would desire to project things because it's the work that says, I don't have to do something. That's a them, like, that's a them problem. Okay. Now, the important thing about this, and this is the hard thing we have to recognize, man, oh gosh, this is what I got to, this energy right now is, I just got to stress, this energy is so exhausting to read for because it's working through nuance. Okay. Now, the higher self is working towards not overly internalizing. Okay. This is what we get when we've got Venus in Libra during Libra season with a bunch of Scorpio energy in it. Okay. Because this is working through, okay? This is working through the space of recognizing and identifying, working through, okay? This is working through the energetic quandary that we're going to go through right now of recognizing that the ego desires to project outwards, but the higher self works not to overly internalize, right? That's a very fine, there's a very fine line there. Okay, very fine line. There's a very fine line there, okay? And how how do we discern the fine line between the ego's desire to project outwards versus the higher self's desire to work not to overly internalize? Conversation, what we bring breath to, the ability to speak upon something, to be able to effectively articulate and work through, right? Working through that point of energetic clarity. So that is what I keep on seeing that's occurring right now. And that's where, and again, if you're feeling a lot of that energetic intensity, this is potentially why, is what I keep on seeing. Now let's continue. And I feel like, and so if that, like, and again, if you're not feeling certain, have that conversation. Have the conversation with the self first if you need to, right? Because that's what allows us to be able to identify and recognize what it is that we're working on trying to do in a better way. Continuing to get clarification between our Nine of Swords in its upright in combination with our Death card in its upright. Whoop, there's that. And all I got to point out, we've got all these cards I keep on drawing are pulling from the bottom of the deck. So we've got the Queen of Wands in its upright. I like to see a lot of wands. A lot of wands right now in the second row that we've got here. And so this is having a different impact on masculine and feminine energy, bearing in mind this is not based on gender, but what one feels most aligned to. So for the energy, for masculine energy right now, I just keep on seeing that this is working through, there's something about working through inner child wounds is what I keep on identifying. There's something about working through those inner child wounds. And what's interesting about it, I keep on seeing, like, the thing we keep on, and the thing with the inner child wounds that we're seeing, particularly in the space of healing, and I'm just going to bring this forward again because I feel called to do so. It's not about getting rid of every trigger, right? A healthy trigger is positioned by a standard, but trauma builds triggers in weird places. Okay. And so this is why we do the work to observe and not absorb in relationality to navigating our triggers. And I feel like the reason I'm reading on this so much has potentially a lot to do with what I'm seeing that's happening right now. And this is just to show you qualitatively that not everything in the energetic frequencies, it's not like things get easier or better depending on how far you move into them. This is specifically speaking right now to the energy that is coming into divine union and the energy deep within divine union. because this is what I mean about about Neptune and Saturn moving back into Pisces as as a result of this retrograde, right? Because it gets real emotional. It gets real emotional. We start building a lot of feelings in relationality to time. And and the thing I keep on seeing there, like like about that, and this is the thing I keep on seeing with some of the masculine energy. I feel like I see some masculine energy looking back upon things, like looking back upon something and having a lot of emotionality, you know? Like and I need to like and I need to say, I'm going to say this specifically to masculine energy, bearing in mind this is not based on gender, but what one feels most aligned to, right? The present is a gift because it allows us to resolve past experience. I feel like I need to say that really strongly. The present is a gift because it gives us the opportunity to resolve past experience. It's the space by which we understand that that opportunity is given to us to arrive every single moment, right? It's not, I keep on hearing, it's not about, but often, and I need to point this out, like often when we're ruminating too much upon the past, we aren't able, like we aren't able to effectively, like I keep on hearing, like we don't allow the ability to work very much on, like to focus on the present. So I keep on seeing, like I almost feel like there's a lot of this it's like a lot of catch up energy right now, if that makes sense. Like I feel like there's something, there's something about there's something about masculine energy right now that is trying to ground, like working on grounding firmly in the present. Not getting, I keep on hearing, like not getting too caught up or bound in the past is what I keep on getting. For feminine, it's interesting because, and this is what I mean right now. This is kind of wild because I've got feminine and masculine very, very different today. Bearing in mind, this is not based on gender, but what it feels most aligned to. Because I see masculine working on contemplation. I see feminine like working, I keep wondering, masculine's working on contemplation, feminine's working on organization, is what I keep on seeing. I see like feminine, like when I describe this right now, you know, like this is like this is all, this is like, and I need to stress this, this could potentially create a little bit of this could create a little bit of dis like be, and I want to describe this as potentially articulating to another, and I keep on hearing the words, do you have the bandwidth, are going to be do you have the bandwidth, are is going to feel like very, like it is a very good thing to lead with today, especially in communicating, because that, like that's effectively what I'm energetically seeing. And because I feel like the thing about it is and I feel like that's the only, like I feel like I've got, for some, I've got like I don't know why I've got like some masculine energy here that feels like they have a lot of energetic time on their hands, and I see feminine like moving very swiftly through things, if that makes sense. Masculine's working on contemplation, feminine's working on syncopation. Thank you. Yeah. So just be mindful of that right now, because it sometimes, like it might, it, even across all of the frequencies and even in separation, it may sometimes lead, this is so typical retrograde, it may lead to some kind of feeling of getting wires crossed or confused. So just be mindful of that, okay? Um, Now let's continue back into the frequencies. So for, like, and that's what I mean, like, and again, Be gentle with each other. Okay, continuing to get clarification between our Hierophant and its reversal and our Two of Wands and its upright. Can I get one card to clarify? Oh my gosh, really? Okay. Oh Lordy Lord. Okay, so so we've got we've got a five of we've got a five of pentacles. We've got a five of pentacles in its reversal right now. And I will say, honestly, I gotta stress this. I know, listen to me, I know if you're in separation right now, you're gonna roll my eyes if I say this. The easement that I see right now, like I feel like there's some kind of level of catharsis that's happening right now for the energy in separation is what I keep on seeing. You know, there is it's giving me I keep on and I have to stress this because the best thing I can describe that I'm seeing, okay, is how do I describe this best? Um, the space by which um the space by which we effectively um the space by which we effectively articulate in relationality to um identifying what feels like it's energetically resolved. I keep on like that's the thing I keep on seeing that is really important right now because the one thing I keep on getting that's happening for separation right now, and just hold with me because I know that this is going to take a little bit to explain, is when the audacity is out, it helps to see things with clarity, is what I keep on seeing. Like, and I need to stress this because it has to do, I keep on getting um, the space by which another articulates upon the feeling of being able to be like I keep on hearing the feeling to be energetically audacious is I keep on hearing it's working into the context of being able to articulate and define like what one is trying to do as well as one is able to do it, right? Like it's I keep on getting it's the space by which I keep on hearing. And it's interesting too because I keep on getting we honor, like I keep on hearing we honor each other's ability to recognize and identify. I keep on hearing it's an honor to see us in the space by which we are trying to be our most authentic version of self. Because when we're in our most authentic version of self, it should feel like an act of celebration. It should feel like a modality by which we are able to articulate and amplify upon our energetic joy. And that's why I feel like this is coming through right now, particularly for the energy in separation, because remember how I said that there is some energetic resolution or restoration that's happening right now for energy in separation, and I keep on getting it's restoring another person's like faith in themselves is what I keep on getting. That's what I mean about like, and I like about something there that feels like it's beautiful. It's like somebody is being given the gift of another person articulating to them how much something meant to them is what I keep on seeing. So there's something that's significant and important there. There's also energy and separation that is working through the space of not experiencing that, right? Someone, I keep wondering, someone checking, right? Like the space by which another person is checking to see if someone still has emotions. And that's why I keep on seeing it's like when someone comes to check to see if we still have emotions, the energy is like, sorry, I apologize for not having disassociated enough to allow for this to continue. It's what I keep on hearing. It's like the energy, like I keep on seeing the energy being like that, like that's what we talk about with with like the healing journey is like when another person is checking to see if you have feelings upon something you're firm about, you're like, that's weird. Why are you weird? Like that's weird. Like why would you come back to see if another person has disassociated enough to be able to build into the context of a relationship? And so that's why I keep on seeing that for a lot of the energy, like it's like, "Bleh." It's like the energy that goes like, "Bleh," because they're like, that's it's like they're not even looking at it. Like they're not looking at it in any way that it feels sentimental. It just feels like it's energetically, it's like it's I keep on hearing it's like it's bizarre. I keep on getting it feels energetically bizarre because it articulates upon something that that needs to be energetically clarified upon. Now, this brings us to I keep on getting this brings us to the energy that is like this brings us to the energy that is how do I describe this? The new relationships that are coming together right now. Um what we're effectively seeing has to do with the observation or the recognition of I keep on seeing they're bringing this sense of healthy, like there is like I keep on laughing when I read into these relationships right now because I keep on hearing everything they're saying to each other sounds perfect, and they're like looking at each other and being like, yeah, right. Like it's like the energy, it's like the energy that is like it's like the energy that they're meeting someone that has alignment with them, but because they're meeting them at the time with like all these planets in Scorpio, and the fact that we're going through a retrograde, and they're coming into energetic alignment with someone that wants the same things that they want. They're like, you want my manifestation goal? You have the same manifestation goal as me? Sounds suspect. Sounds suspect. Sounds sus. But they're built, and that's why I keep on hearing they're building backwards so that they can build forwards. They're getting a sense, they're identifying and learning more about one another in terms of being able to recognize and identify what it is that they're trying to do. In order to go forward we must go backwards. It's like it's requiring they're going through the understanding of how they found one another is what I keep on seeing. Continuing to get clarification between our Two of Wands in combination with our Five of Wands and its upright. Can I get one card to clarify, please? Ooh, I like me a Fool card in its reversal. I gotta tell you, I like a Fool card in its reversal because the thing with a Fool card in its reversal, and I need to stress this, is um, and I like this too, because we've got the World card in its reversal with the Fool card in its reversal, right? Perfection is not, it's more of a continuation of what we go through with Virgo cycles. Perfection is not found. Perfection is what we make with a lack of perfection, right? And it starts with the self, right? And this is what we talk about when we talk about like the real fear of what it means when we're building into the idolatry of one another is the space by which we demand perfection from each other, right? When we come into the recognition of understanding and identifying and working through the context of recognizing that we're doing the best that we can, then it allows, I keep wondering, it allows the context by which we're able to identify and work upon something in a better fashion, right? It allows us the space by which we're able to identify and recognize what that work feels like. And so I keep on seeing that for a lot of these temperance relationships right now, Like, what are we effectively seeing with those temperance relationships? I keep on, it's like the energy that is so upset because they're working through the unders, they're carrying, they're building into a deeper understanding of the trauma that counterpart potentially went through, right? They're experiencing that. And in the space by which they're experiencing it, they're feeling the frustration that they themselves did not come into connection sooner, because they recognize that if they'd come into energetic connection sooner, they would have potentially avoided that. But they're also going through the conversation of saying, like, I keep on hearing, but the context by which they found one another is how they're grounding into the present, right? Like, that's what I keep on hearing. They're working very hard in terms of building into present relationship. They're grounding firmly in the present to be able to identify and articulate what it is. I keep wondering what it is that they're trying to do in a greater way. And so they're being present for each other. And that's what's beautiful about it. And I keep on hearing they're putting their emotions aside to be present for one another. Because I keep on hearing the energy working through something and saying that if another person, like I keep on hearing when we honor each other's healing journeys, we don't circumnat, like we don't say like, oh, well, this is what I think that that needs, right? It's like I keep on hearing we don't commandeer each other's healing journeys. But I keep on hearing when we take steps out of alignment in relationality to how another would choose to carry something, then it becomes the modality by which we commandeer it, because it often brings the past back into the present. So that's what I keep on seeing. It's like I told you, it's the solar plexus with the heart. I keep on hearing with the heart that wants to open, but then the heart that is working instead on building into the present by being energetically mindful of the healing journey of the counterpart. I know that sounds really complicated. I've got to figure out if there's a word for it. It's a very complicated, it's a very complicated energy. So I'm trying to do my best to explain it, continuing to get clarification between our Five of Wands in its upright in combination with our Queen of Wands in its upright. Ooh, there's that Eight of Swords in its reversal. We had that yesterday. Boy, oh boy, do I like this third tier that we're going through right now, because this is talking about, like, I gotta stress this. You know, we don't I keep on hearing there's something important in relationality to navigating. I keep hearing there's something really important in relationality to navigating one another's feelings, is what I keep on seeing. And that I keep hearing that observation of being able to work through each other's feelings. And I keep on getting the difference. I keep on hearing we are supportive of each other's feelings, right? And I keep on seeing like the space by which we are energetically supportive of each other's feelings is, I keep on getting the being energetically supportive of each other's feelings is the context by which we have energetic empathy upon the fact. I keep on hearing that when we honor each other's feelings, we honor the fact that we are working towards the space, and this is why it's coming through right now for the energy deep within divine union, because when we build into healthy relationship, we don't assume that we are the energetic center of others existences, is what I keep on hearing, right? That's not healthy is what I keep on hearing. I keep on hearing the only space by which we should center each other's existence is if we're in energetic relationship to one another, is what I keep on hearing, right? That's what I keep on hearing. Relationships are about healthy orbits, and healthy orbits are recognizing and identifying what that energetic work is. And so I keep on hearing that Like there's something about that space of healthy orbit, which is working through, I told you, they're working through a Saturn lesson, because I keep on seeing if there's something about the energy moving deep within divine union and someone else is projecting, like not only are they feeling an energetic emotional distortion outside of a relationship, but they're projecting that onto relationship. The energy within partnership is giving another person the gift of proximity, is what I keep on seeing, right? It's like it's the energy that it hurts. I keep on hearing it hurts to see it, but they're giving, and I keep on hearing they're putting distance there, but I keep on hearing they're not putting distance there to effectively worsen something, but they're trying to give someone something they need to be able to resolve something that is happening within them. So that's why I keep on seeing, like, I told you, there's like a maturation process that's happening right now for the energy deep within divine union. And it feels like a very, very abrupt auric cleansing, continuing to get clarification between our Five of Pentacles in its reversal in combination with our Fool card in its reversal. Woo, we got that Hangman in its upright. Like to see a Fool card in its reversal with a Hangman in its upright. Why do we like to see a Fool card in its reversal with a Hangman in its upright? Because I keep on getting, it's not about, it's not about, how do I describe this best? It's not about over, and I remember I said, like, working through that, like, healthy space between the difference, right? Between the difference of not projecting outwards and not overly internalizing. Like that's a lot of the work that we're potentially seeing that is occurring right now. And so, the work that we articulate and identify in relationality to that, um, has to do with, I keep on getting, for the energy that is for the energy that is in separation. This feels, I keep on getting, it feels, I keep on hearing, it feels like a relief, is what I keep on getting. There's something about this energy that it's like I keep on getting, it feels like a relief, because the relief that we're seeing, and this is the only space by which I'm seeing this for the energy and separation, is for the relief is recognizing what one needs to release, right? Like that's what I keep on hearing. The relief of understanding what one is working to release. Now, if there, and that's why I meant, if there's something, and I want to describe this right now for some of the energy and separation right now, all three of these things that I'm describing could be happening at once, which is like, and I need to describe this, and this continuing. Remember when I said yesterday we had a tower in the center of the spread, but I said it was a very protected tower? Like that's what we taught, like that's what we mean with, like, that's what we mean, um that in relationality to building into the context of clarity, because that observation of being able to identify and articulate upon what one is working on doing better, right? Like that observation of being able to identify and recognize where that center of work is, there's something that feels reaffirming, because I keep on hearing, then this is happening across all of those phases of the energy and separation. They're not, I keep on hearing, they're not overly investing. They're not overly investing in spaces or places where they're seeing energetic distortions, is what I keep on seeing. And the reason I keep on getting that is in the space by which there are energetic apologies that are happening. This is energy that is potentially receiving apologies in terms of another person projecting something onto them. For the energy that's coming into, the energy that's building into closing or coming into some kind of separation cycle, it is seeing someone continually trying to project something onto them, that is building the context by which they're able to move away from something. And for the energy that's building into new relationship, it is the ability of having a conversation about the past that is met with openness and clarity, that is building into the context of feeling a lot of that firmament, in terms of finding, like I keep on hearing, this is the energy that's finding that have the mutual manifestation, and now the past is building the ground, is firming up the ground beneath their feet, so finding their confidence in it. Now for the energy that is coming into divine union, the Fool card in its reversal with the Eight of Swords in its reversal. Can I get one card to clarify? Ooh, we got that Queen of Cups in its reversal. So let's talk a little bit about the Queen of Cups. The Queen of Cups in its reversal. Wow, and I gotta say, there is like this deck today, like this spread. There is a lot of. I want to describe this. There's a lot of alignment that's happening here, but it's a very interesting. It's a very interesting alignment, is what I keep on seeing, because I keep on getting the alignment that's potentially occurring has to do. I keep on getting the alignment that we're seeing that is energetically occurring has to do in the space of, and I feel like it has to do a lot with the fact that we're going through a Leo moon cycle right now. Like finding the energetic fortitude to be able to, I keep on hearing, step into circumstances or situations by which we are able to articulate and identify how much meaning something has towards us or for us. And that's what I meant in relationality to the energy that's coming into divine union right now. This feels very energetically protective, right? Well, I keep on hearing, like, why would the energy be going through an energetic solar plexus opening that then they're trying to control the heart space on? Because it's the energy that is feeling a lot of emotions about something that happened in the past, but they're stopping themselves from doing anything about it because they're being energetically protective in preserving the process by which another person has been healing from something. And I keep on hearing that the energy, like the energy that is effectively working through that right now, like there's something that is there's something very fundamental about that, because it's the energy that says, it's the understand. I keep on hearing they're going through a maturation process because they're not necessarily doing what they feel energetically inclined to do about something. They're honoring the process of the counterpart in terms of how the counterpart chooses to energetically address it. And this brings us to the energy that is deep within divine union. Final card for today's spread between our Hangman in its reversal and the Queen of Cups in its reversal. Ooh, we got that four. We got that Four of Swords in its upright. And I like the thing with the Four of Swords in its upright has to do, the Four of Swords in its upright in combination with the Hangman in its reversal and the Queen of Cups with the Four of Swords. And this is moving us back into the context of time, because we basically have Saturn and Neptune that are both moving back into Pisces right now. And with Saturn and Neptune both moving back into Pisces, the thing we have to understand is it's the observation. And this is what I keep on hearing that is happening. So for the energy that's coming into divine union right now, they're going through an expansion process. I keep on hearing an expansion process that is requiring control of the heart space, right? For the energy that's going deep and moving deep into divine union, it is working through the observation of what one sees. They're going through Saturn lessons, right? They're going through those Saturn lessons, and they're feeling a lot of that energetic volatility about something, because something that they see, that they're seeing in the present, is recontextualizing their experience in the past. It's creating a moment of having to energetically reassess. And so, for a lot of the energy doing that work, I keep on hearing it's heavy, it's important, but I almost feel like it's the energy that feels like they're coming into a deeper level of maturation. Bottom of the deck on this reading, Ace of Cups in its reversal, right? Like the difficulty with this energy that we've been going through, and this has been happening over the span of this year. So we have had Saturn and Neptune hovering over the meridian between Pisces and Aries. It's like, and we've had them going forwards and backwards, forwards and backwards, because every time they go into retrograde, they pull back into Pisces. And I need to point this out. There is something really important that is happening in the context of this occurring during Libra season, because it's understanding and it's navigating through proportionality, right? Because I keep on seeing when we're able to do something we don't, like, I keep on hearing it's only an energetic gift if you're able to be energetically proportional with it, right? Which is the space by which one understands, like the space by which one is able to navigate. I keep on hearing the space of control is being able, and not I keep on hearing not just doing something, but being able to, like, it's like working into the space of understanding the proportionality of what one is effectively intending to do. And it's hard, right? Because I keep hearing sometimes you have to give a little, sometimes you have to pull back. And so, and the thing about this, and this has more to do with, again, the articulation point that I said that is difficult, about the fact that the ego always wants to project, and always has a tendency of over projecting, and the higher self always has a tendency to overly internalize. So when we're building into the balance of the self, we are allowing for the space by which we're able to identify and articulate upon what it is that we're trying to do better, right? And I keep on hearing it's not the space by which we're perfect, it's the space by which we're able to articulate upon what it is we're trying to do. Is what I keep on getting. Right? Like it's like I keep on hearing, like life is a journey of perpetually missing the mark, but then also being able to understand how one, like how one is working on trying to do something a little bit better, a little bit better, a little bit better. Like, this is how we become energetically blessed. It's a space by which we're constantly working to do something in such a way that it always allows for the space by which we're leaving. I keep on hearing we're leaving room for our own ability to, like, and we do this for each other too, right? Like, this is the gift we give one another. We always leave a little bit of room for ourselves to allow for that adaptability point. And the true gift is that when we find that within ourselves, we give it to those around us, right? This is also why it's really important that we're not too hard on ourselves, because that ability of being able to build into that allows us to be able to articulate and refine upon or define what it is that we're working to do better. So I feel like there's something kind of important about navigating through this energy. And I feel like it's also really important, particularly when we come into the context of the fact that we see that we've got a Scorpio new moon coming up, but we've also got the space by which we have to recognize that, like, and I keep on hearing this is something important that often comes up when we're going through a lot of Scorpio energy. Change and Gemini. Change for change's sake is not a manifestation goal, right? The ability to articulate upon what one is trying to change is how we effectively get somewhere. That is where we find all of that. That is our daily collective read for today. I want to thank you guys so much for being here and experiencing it. Just a reminder, if you'd like to book a private reading with me, it is a two-step process. You have to book the reading, you have to pay for the reading. Please make sure you do both if you would like to have that reading. Most importantly, please remember that I will never, ever, 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 ever reach out to you for a private reading. I will never DM you. I will never PM you. I will never slide into your inbox and tell you that I have a very important message that only I can deliver. The only way you can book a reading with me is if you book one on my site. So I would encourage you to do it there. A couple of updates before we move into personal readings today. First and foremost, thank you to everyone who attended our recent class on the star card. Our next class will be held tomorrow, October 15th at 6 p.m. PST, 9 p.m. Eastern. We will be continuing our studies into the tarot with a focus on the moon card. If you would like to become a part of that tarot class program, all you need to do is head on over to my stack and become a paid subscriber. Your paid subscription to my stack is your ticket of entry into our live classes each and every month. You will also, as a paid subscriber, have access to as a paid monthly subscriber, have access to over 9 hours worth of material in the Tarot Church Library Class Archive. Now, it's not necessary to catch up. I will be doing my best to give you an update on everything we've studied prior to beginning that next class, but the materials are there for you to receive. As you're ready to receive them, you'll also have access to a one-on-one chat with me and the other students to ask any questions that you may have in relation to anything we've learned and studied thus far. And if you become a founding member to my stack, not only will you receive a discount on the full year's worth of classes, you will also receive a full you'll also have full access to the entirety of the Tarot Church Library Class Archive. That is access to over 19 hours worth of material in an ever-expanding library. You will also have access to a complimentary one-on-one mentorship class with me, where I will meet with you personally to assess where you are on your personal tarot journey and give you the best insights in terms of how to utilize those classes to the best impact moving towards your tarot goals going forward. One of the things I tried to do with these classes was make them accessible to the absolute novice tarot reader as well as the seasoned reader. There's definitely something there for everyone. Don't let your lack of experience or your robust experience prevent you from joining us in these classes. And even if you don't become a paid subscriber to my stack, I would encourage you to follow me there to stay up to date on any new offerings or services. I also post my weekly newsletter there, which will let you know about my in-person events as well as my online live schedule. You also have access to my mystic meditation articles, which let you know what we've been experiencing energetically in relationality to the moon cycles. I just wrote one recently on this full moon that we experienced. I'll be writing one shortly on the new moon we've got coming up. I also want to let you guys know that on top of my standard, I also want to let you guys know that on top of my standard life path readings, I also offer mentorship classes. These are for any of my students seeking a more personalized educational experience with me. I take a very limited number of students for this reason, as those classes are focused on each individual's personal spiritual goals and journey work. Those classes can be purchased on an individual level or as a monthly class series, weekly or bi-weekly as your schedule permits. Also, for my students seeking more consistent weekly tarot support, I'm very happy to offer weekly tarot insight packages. That is a package of 4 30-minute readings, again, weekly or bi-weekly as your schedule permits, so that you can stay more consistent on your personal journey. I'm also very happy to offer dream interpretation readings, which can be purchased per dream or as a series. If you purchase the series, I would encourage you to start to keep a dream journal, as we will meet weekly or bi-weekly with that journal and utilize the tarot to understand the key themes and messages coming towards you in the dream space. I want to thank you guys so much for being here today and sharing in these messages. And we will do this again tomorrow. That is our daily collective read for today. We are going to get started on personal readings. Congratulations to Ava. You are our highest gifter. You'll be getting an additional card in your reading. Julia, you came in second, so you will have an additional card in your subscriber reading. If anybody else would care to get on the list for today, the list is open. It is 3 cards for a donation of 29 or more, 4 cards for a donation of 23 or more for my subscribers. Links in my bio. Please keep in mind there are 2 things I do not read for across these apps: pregnancy and medical. Happy to give insight on anything in private readings, and you can book private readings on my site. I'm going to take a moment to read over some of the comments that came through as I was reading. Gloria, thank you so much for reposting. I deeply appreciate that. And guys, just remember too, we are at 17.1K likes. When we get to 50K, I will be gifting a reading back to the collective. So make sure you're tapping that screen. We will get to 50K in no time. Yes, I've got you on the list, Per. Thank you. And Mark, thank you so much for the follow. And how are you doing? Yep, I've got you, dear. Queen, your subscription's ending soon if you would like to renew. I got you, Tiff. And thank you, Vay, for the follow. Julia, hi there. Thank you for the heart me's. Guys, please remember to recharge your heart me's if you'd like an animal spirit guide card on top of your subscriber 1 card. And Jana, I would love a reading. Oh my gosh. Jana, I'm sending you so much support on that journey. And again, whenever you want to have that reading, you know we're here. Sending you so much support. And on that and hoping and again like remember that you're safe, seen, and supported here. Ella, I want this month to go slower so we can enjoy. I know it's going very quickly, Ella. Grand Rising, Julia, good to see you today. I know the intensity, it is, but again, don't overly internalize on the fact that it feels energetically intense right now. My relationship can appear anytime now. Good to see you, Queen. How are you doing today, B? Thank you for the follow. Good to see you as well, Jazzy. And thank you for those roses, Jana. Yes, it's a feeling for me, or just hopping on a sailboat to get out. Sending you support, Alexandra. Salutations, Gucci. Yep. It's like, okay, just keep going forward. Absolutely. And V, thank you for the follow. Thank you for confirmation, Bridget and Ella and Morgs. Thank you for the follow. Don't project, reflect. I love that, Queen. Thank you as well for confirmation, Bella. Naughty planets doing their thing again. They always are, aren't they? Yes, focusing on what is ahead, like my goals, kind of helping. Continue to do that. Me too. I love this and working in my art. Grand Rising, Esteban, good to see you today. Ooh, art therapy. I've been thinking of doing that since I would write more. I love that. Hannah, I have to jump. No problem, Hannah. You know you're not going to miss your reading when you're here. And Serafina, I just used those terms over the last couple of days. My lack of bandwidth for chaos. I like that. I like that a lot. Rainbow, all you got is, all I saw when you came in is, are we winning at the collective today? And I almost lost it. Thank you. Good to see you, dear. Hope you're having a beautiful start to your day. A win is a win. Hannah, your subscription's ending soon if you'd like to renew. Grand Rising, dear. Oh, there was Audacity last night. Sending you support on that journey, Rainbow. I think I feel that way too. Disappointed and bewildered, but no longer self-betraying. Tap to claim, Rainbow. That's the important thing. Queen, your subscription's ending soon if you'd like to renew. Jonas and Dear, thank you for the follow. Here for the weird. I like that, Serafina. Tap to claim. If I'm ever saying your name incorrectly, by all means, please, please, please make sure that you correct me. Hannah, rainbow flags flying high. I like that too. Yep. And yes, and don't forget the forbs. Don't forget the swords and the wands. Here's the thing, man. I'll put it this way. There is a lot of swords and a lot of wands here. You know? Cat moon opposes Cancer, black moon Lilith in my chart. We got this. Yeah, you do, Rainbow. You got this. You remind me so much. Oh, thank you, Hannah. That's really sweet of you. I hope you're having a beautiful day. Bella, thank you as well. Jenna, thank you for the follow. That's my IC North Node, Libra, Q, and Swords, and Midheaven. Yep. Protecting the self, the collective, integrity, and justice. Oh, I like that. Hi there, I. How are you doing? Thank you for the heart. Thank you for confirmation, B. It's a blessing to be empathetic. I mean, it's a blessing if you learn to navigate it. You know what I mean? But it is. It's like proportionality. Some project because of true pain, respect from a distance. Lucy, your subscription's ending soon if you'd like to renew. I know, right, Rainbow? Don't they though? I thought the same thing. I don't mind. Listen, I don't mind seeing a full card in its reversal with the hangman in its upright. I really don't. It's a lot of that. Nobody's got time for it. You know what I mean? Yep. And Jenna, thank you for the follow. Yeah, unless I'm mistaken, I'm seeing that the moon is in Leo today. I'm eating mints like candy. I like that, Alexandra. And thank you for reposting, Gloria. Again, I appreciate you. You're so welcome, Bella. All right, where were we? You're so welcome, Ava. Looking forward to our reading. Be Jazzy. You're so welcome. Right back at you, dear. And thank you for reposting, Gloria. I know it's Pluto in Sag actioning. You got it. It's important. Yep. Help the collective. I like that. And Vera, thank you for the follow. Oh, I seem neat. Thank you, Vera. Oh, just today. Yeah. No, that's okay. I was like, all right, I always feel like you're my astrology checker. You're like, that's not right. I'm like, okay, if it's not right, you're probably right. All right. I am not, I will be the first one to articulate the fact that, there is a gift in recognizing our own fallibility. Continuing right now, though, the first person we're reading for today is Per. I know Per had to step out, though. So, Per, if you're here, let me know. If Per is not here, the next person we're reading for today, I will also stress the list is very short today. So we'll be keeping the list short, but if you want to get on the list right now, I can take one or two more people before the list is closed. It is 3 cards for a donation of 29 or more, 4 cards for a donation of 23 or more for my subscribers. Links in my bio. Please keep in mind there are 2 things I don't read for across these apps. Those are pregnancy and medical. Happy to give insight on anything in private readings, and you can book private readings on my site. We are also, when we get to 50K, I will be gifting a reading back to the collective. So make sure that you're tapping that screen, and we will get to 50K in no time. Perfect. How are you doing? Oh, Per, you're back. Great. It's a good thing we rescheduled for today. You had a dream. Oh, you see that? See, timing worked out. Perfect. Did you already post it, dear? So just a reminder, if you guys would like to get on the list, we do here Life Path, highest priority messages from the spirit, angelic guidance, pet readings, dream interpretations, Akashic, animal spirit guide readings, mind, body, spirit. If you have information that is relevant to our reading, you can post it in the notes when you send the donation, or you can post it in our subscriber only disco channel in the appropriate channels. Thank you for letting me know it's in the disco outside. Before we continue right now, friends, let's do an intuition check. I've got the animal spirit guide cards here. I'm going to count back from 10, and when we get to 1, I will reveal the card. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Air Dragon. Thank you guys for participating. We'll do that again after the next reading. And let's pull out the dream. All right. Okay. Ooh, we got a good one. Let's see here. Oh, wait, that's Hannah. We already read that. Okay. Excellent. Ooh, okay. Ooh. All right. So before we begin, I'm going to pin up Per here. Guys, make sure to give Per some love. Outside tea, dream interpretation. I was in a large butcher shop or fabric together with a man. Because it wasn't safe, the man asked me to hide inside of a cow carcass. I've forgotten how I ended up in that place with him in the first place, but there is a story here. After I hid inside one of the carcasses, the one I was hiding in was chosen to be transported as cargo. The driver, a chubby boy, no older than 17 or 18, noticed me and decided not to tell his boss. The older woman I had been hiding from in the first place. This woman rode along in the truck during the transport of the carcass. We had to make a stop because the boy needed to pee, and the woman let him go inside a building with some accomplices. They pointed him to a toilet in a glass shower room. From that point on, I saw the events through the boy's eyes. He went inside, and it turned out that the toilet was behind the glass, unreachable. He could relieve himself in the shower drain instead, but he had to do it secretly so that the older woman wouldn't notice and rinse away the remains with the shower. On the way to the back to the truck, the boy decided to go alone without the woman to sort of rescue me. A man and two women went with him toward the truck where I was hidden inside the carcass. The important secret was that if others ate fruit together with the boy, they became completely intoxicated and fell under his spell. And I saw this happening through his eyes. The others ate fruit he offered them in front of him. The juice of cherries and other fruits was dripping on their hands and mouths. They fell into some kind of trance or ecstasy. The whole scene was looking really interesting and in like a very primitive sort of fashion. And then I woke up. The first and last parts of the dream are significant. Hiding with the man and the fruit part. Yep. Can I get 5 cards, please? Highest priority messages. Two more. Thank you. Oh, this is wild. Okay, so this is interesting because it's talking about it's a journey about recognizing and healing an inner child wound. It's an inner child wound healing reading, and it's effectively identified as it relates to as it relates to coming into the identification point of the self. And effectively, it has to do in the space by which you felt that you were being energetically transported somewhere. Now, you described at first, you said, and this is interesting because you said the locationality of the dream, and this is where we can see, and what's what wild about the dream is that it has to do with the difference between inner child, the ability to kind of come into maturation that is different for masculine and feminine energy. So for feminine energy, bearing in mind that this is not based on gender, but what one feels most aligned to, it is having to hide inside of a cow carcass, which is the identification point of feeling like one is judged purely by the exterior of the self rather than the authenticity of the self, right? And so you said that it was the observation of someone saying that it wasn't safe, meaning it wasn't safe to be yourself. So they asked you to hide inside of a cow carcass. So it's the identification point of saying you forgot how you ended up in the first place there. So it's not necessarily, and I need to stress this, it's not necessarily the fact that you're in danger versus someone telling you that it's really important that you do something. I need to stress the important thing about this is you have not identified the source of the danger beyond the fact that you articulated that a random man in the dream space told you that it was really, really necessary that you do this. It was really important that you do so in order to energetically protect the self. So this could be going through the maturation process that you effectively navigated, where another person told you that it wasn't safe to be yourself, but you had to kind of hide within the external, right? Like you had to put the inner self away within something. And you said, and what's interesting about this is the fact that you didn't necessarily do this from the context of feeling that way, but another person telling you that it was imperative that you do so. You said after you hid inside of one of the carcasses, it was then chosen to be transported, right? So it's the observation point of effectively working into the context of, and I need to point this out because this is what's important. This is how we see that it's about inner child healing, because we often see the transportation in the context of dreams speaks towards the significant the significance of relationship. So the space by which we observe and recognize the relationship by which we see that you effectively feeling like chosen for transport was the observation of potentially another person telling you that the only way you would be able to have a healthy relationship is if you concentrated, you put all of your concentration in looking energetically appealing. So, not necessarily revealing yourself, but almost feeling like you have to hide who you are in order to facilitate healthy relationship, right? And then you said that in the context of that, and this is what's interesting about it, because we saw that there was a transference point that occurred in the space of the dream, right? And what's interesting about this is now showing you why somebody may have felt that way, because the overarching question, right, it has to do with who was that person, who was that man. And what we're assuming here is this is effectively also articulating upon a karmic relationship, right? So this is potentially healing a wound of somebody who was around you during your formative years, that was telling you in some way, shape, form, or fashion that it wasn't safe to be your authentic self, that you had to effectively hide away, as it were, in the appearance of being someone other than the self. So, what are the guides giving you to help you understand? And this is how we can tell that it's a guide reading or a guide dream, because the guides never give us answers, they help us frame questions. So, the guides then basically put you in the position of the masculine energy. Again, bearing in mind this is not based on gender, but what one feels most aligned to help you contextualize what they were so afraid of. But this is the important thing, not necessarily based upon you, but based upon their experiences, failing to recognize the fact that you guys are going through entirely different things. So then the guides now put you in the perspective of the masculine, and then brings you into the inner child healing of the masculine to help you figure out why they were so alarmed in the first place. And the reason that they're alarmed is because they're referencing back their own personal history. And so, what are we seeing in the history of the masculine going through their own maturation process? We see here the space by which another person, I keep on hearing, like another person was like, and I need to point this out, they were put in a space by which they were energetically forced to reveal themselves, right? We literally see a situation or circumstance where another person experienced an inner child wound by which they were forced to effectively reveal themselves, which is the space by which you articulated the fact that they were put in a, like they were put, there were no boundaries, right? They were put in a space by which they had no energetic boundaries by which they could effectively be able to have privacy. So that ability of effectively articulating the feeling of the energy of the masculine that was articulating upon an inner child wound, where they were constantly looking for a place where they could have privacy, and perpetually feeling that that privacy was not energetically reachable to them, right? Then this is effectively the space by which, and I need to stress this, you articulated the situation where they said on the back of the truck, the boy decided to go alone without the woman to sort of rescue you. And the rescuing is the modality wherein the boy at the beginning of the dream becomes, they are the person who is driving the truck, right? So it's understanding the framework by which someone potentially gave you a false narrative based not upon what was actually happening, but more based upon their personal historical experience of trauma. And so this is effectively, they're basically showing you they're showing you the context of the shape of the wound that another person had in terms of why they would tell you to do something that wouldn't allow you to be your authentic self. Now, then you said that at the closing out point of the dream, you said that a man and a woman went with them toward the truck where you were hidden inside the carcass. You said, and this is where and this is where it gets really intriguing, because this is, again, this is the last part of the dream is what help is the key to understanding the context of the dream, because you just described this here, okay? And they're going to talk about the framework of understanding, not allowing our past traumas to traumatize those that we're trying to help with them. Okay, and it's articulated, and I love this, by the guides articulating to you the instructions, right? The instructions in terms of deriving the fruit, which is the important thing of understanding, not allowing the context by which something happened to erase the significance of what's important about it. So you said that what was important was that you said others ate fruit together with the boy, and they became completely intoxicated and fell under a spell. That's what happened to you at the beginning of the dream, right? They were giving you their fruit. They were telling you some point of knowledge of something that happened to them. They said, get in the carcass. Get in the carcass. You're not safe. Get in the carcass. You're not safe. And you went, okay. That was the fruit that they were giving you, right? You were like, oh, okay, like whatever you say, right? So if you take the fruit, you become intoxicated, and you just do the things that they tell you to do without energetically thinking about them. But then you said when you saw things through their eyes, right? Right? You saw them eating fruit that he offered them in front of them, and it got all over the place, and they fell into some kind of trance or ecstasy. The whole scene was looking very interesting. So it's the observation of recognizing what is important in relationality to how we heal from trauma, right? It's not, I keep on getting, it's not this space. Like I keep on hearing, we don't allow trauma to build the foundation of our relationships, right? Because when we allow our trauma to build the foundation of our relationship, what we're basically saying is, we're not saying to someone, get in the car. We're saying to them, get in the carcass, right? They're saying, become the thing that I've been working to heal from, right? Like, let's just replay that over and over and over again. And this is what happens when we're not ready to let go of the trauma that effectively happened to us, right? When we're not ready to let it go, we want to relive it. We want to experience it, but not in a way that is helpful to us, but something that feels like it is energetically destabilizing to those around the self. So this is potentially working through a karmic situation where someone potentially, and this is what's interesting about it, someone potentially wanted you to violate their emotional boundaries, right? You climbing into the carcass wasn't necessarily climbing into the carcass of the cow. It was climbing into the carcass of the experience of childhood, wherein they felt like another person was not allowing them to have any vulnerabilities, right? So this is effectively identifying someone who is potentially forcing you to replay a mother wound that they hadn't initially healed from, right? That's what the articulation point would be in terms of climbing into the carcass. But that's why we said that the space by which others like work through that and they build into the intoxication point is the energy not learning to trust others, because it's showing the inner childhood of someone being like, everyone always disappoints me, right? Like they're going, everybody always disappoints me. I never have any space where I'm allowed to be the self, not recognizing the fact that the child is feeding everyone the fruit that's causing that to happen. So it's understanding the space by which we have to work to understand that trauma. Because if we don't try to understand the trauma, then not only are we forced to replicate it, but then we feel like it's happening to us because everyone's disappointing us. But it's not that they're disappointing us. We're only giving them things that it's almost like we're asking them to build into the framework by which they will, right? It's like it's the self-fulfilling prophecy of not overcoming our own tendencies. Bottom of the deck on this reading, right? Because it brings you back to the beginning. Why would someone do that? It's like, why would someone do that? It's like it's the observation of saying, why would someone do that? It's the difference I keep on hearing. The difference between healing from trauma is being able to let go of the familiarity of it. Letting go of the familiarity of it, right? And again, it's the space by which, and I feel like it's a space by which you have to navigate the modality by which the energetic point stops when another person says climb in the carcass, another person being like, I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to do that. Sorry. Like it's the space by which you have to say to another person, like, no, right? Like it's the space by which you want to go somewhere, right? You don't like it's the, and I need to point this out, going into a relationship with someone should not require you to climb into the carcass, right? It shouldn't require you to have to become a version of the past in order for an energy to feel the fortification point in moving forward. When we're in healthy partnership, we don't ask others, we don't hold the past relationship as a template by which we look towards another and say, like, I would not be surprised if this was a situation where you were healing from someone that was like, she was so she went she they were so much better than you. You couldn't hold a candle to them. The minute we start saying we couldn't hold a candle to someone is the moment that we articulate and say, I have never let go of it, right? Like the moment we say you couldn't hold a candle is exactly the problem, because it's often the articulation that somebody's trying to ask you to climb into the carcass. It stinks, right? It stinks. It stinks. Who would want to do that? It's an awful way to live. So the identification point of feeling that space in terms of another person potentially articulating upon the fact that they were holding too much reverence for something from the past that they weren't willing to let go of, but asking you to try to but comparing you in a space of constantly comparing the past to the present is helping you understand. I feel like the guides are giving you the stream to help you understand the full, I keep on hearing like the full modality of impossibility of healing from someone who hasn't healed from a mother wound properly, where they tell you that they don't have anywhere they feel safe, but then they don't want to feel safe because they keep on creating situations by which they want you to violate their energetic boundaries. Thank you so much for having that reading with me, Per. And if this message connected to you as well, it's very common for those who need these messages to be here to experience them. We are doing personal readings right now. The list is open. It is 3 cards for a donation of 29 or more, 4 cards for a donation of 23 or more for my subscribers. Links in my bio. Please keep in mind there are 2 things I don't read for across these apps: pregnancy and medical. Happy to give insight on anything in private readings, and you can book private readings on my site. Just bear with me a moment as I read over some of the comments that came through. Excellent. Yes, and Ramon, your subscription's ending soon if you'd like to renew. Thank you. Just hold on a minute, reading over the comments. And Vera, thank you so much for the follow. Excellent. Julia, thank you for getting on the list. And thank you for reposting, Gloria. You're welcome, Bella. You're welcome, Ava. Okay, and thank you as well. Okay. This could be a spooky season movie. Yes, it's like a fever dream. So much detail. Absolutely. Haley, your subscription's ending soon if you'd like to renew. Yes, the man was hiding as well. But this is why I keep on saying hiding as well, because they're trying to go back to the past experience. Okay. Exactly. Thank you for thank you as well. Bad. Yeah, get in the car. Exactly. Classic movie. I lost my carcass. This is interesting. I never would have interpreted it this way. Thank you, Per. The man look, but here's the thing, right? It's harder. Like, yeah, again, I need to point out if the man looks fine. So if the person looks fine, it's harder because it's like, it's the energy of like, what do I have to do? What do I have to do? Yes, absolutely. Yes. Excellent. Note to self, not climbing the carcass. I've never heard the word carcass so often. Hey, look, everyone, I came in at a great time. Welcome, Nikki. No candles on the carcass, people. I love that rainbow. Feels, hold on a minute, feels like we are kicking, but bump. You're so welcome, Per. Julia, I've got you as number 4. And all right, let me take a moment. I'm actually also going to be closing the list right now. So the list is closed, but if you'd like to get, whoop, all right, who's next? Hannah, your cards are already out. So we'll keep those here. If anybody wants to get on the list for tomorrow, you'll be the first person read for. Julia, I've got you number 4 on the list today. You're welcome, dear. All right, we're also at 18K likes. When we get to 50K, I will be gifting a reading back to the collective. All right, and we're going to continue right now. The next person on the list for today is Hannah. Hannah, if you're here, can you respond in all caps? Let me know if you'd like a general reading or if you have a specific question you'd like me to answer. All right. You're so welcome, Julia. Yeah, you see the Queen of Pentacles out. We had 2 of them on the table yesterday. All right, let's continue. And the next, we're also at 18.5K likes. When we get to 50K, I will be gifting a reading back to the collective. So make sure you're tapping that screen and we'll get to 50K in no time. And the next person we are reading for today is going to be Hannah. Hannah, if you're here, can you respond in all caps? Let me know if you'd like a general reading or if you have a specific question you'd like me to answer. All right. And while we wait for Hannah, let's do another intuition check. I've got the animal spirit guide cards here. We're going to count back from 10. And we get to 1, I will reveal the card. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. You know what, Rainbow, you got really close. Oh, look at Alexandra. It was the boar. Let's continue right now. Okay. You're so welcome, Julia. All right, and now I'm looking right now for second call right now for Hannah. Second call right now for Hannah. All right, if Hannah is not here, we're going to continue forward. If Hannah is not here, the next person on the list for today is Ella. Oh, Hannah said they had a meeting. That's right. Okay, so Ella, these are potentially your cards then. Can you let me know if you'd like a general reading or if you have a specific question you'd like me to answer? That also makes a lot of sense given the cards I'm seeing right now. Got you. All right, perfect. Okay. All right, I've pinned up Ella there. Make sure to give Ella some love. And can I please get one more card? Oh, good Lord. You know, the thing I keep on seeing, and I need to stress this, when we care about one another, we recognize and identify the fact that we change is what I keep on seeing. You know, there's something really significant upon that. And I have to describe like I feel like there's it's like I keep on hearing, it's so funny because every time I do this reading right now, I just keep on hearing somebody saying to you, get your head out of the clouds. And I almost hear you saying to someone like if you give me a good reason to get my head out of the clouds, I'm happy to do so. Because it's like I almost like I keep on get your head out of the clouds is the song of dissatisfied energy is all I keep on hearing. Right? Like that's what I keep on getting like in relationality to like get your head out of the clouds is the song of dissatisfied energy because I keep on seeing that there's something about um like I almost like it's like I see you and another person. Like I hear one person saying, get your head out of the clouds, and you looking at them profoundly and saying, who hurt you? Is what I keep like that's the conversation that I'm having right now. Like that's what I keep on seeing. Like I see a situation where someone looks at you and says, get your head out of the clouds, and you just look at another person and say, what happened? You know? Like who hurt you? Because it feels like I want to describe this as, and this is why I keep on hearing the guides are saying, give them time. Don't touch it. Don't don't touch it, you know? Because I know like the thing I keep on seeing here is like somebody working through a lot of fear, you know? Like I feel like they I keep on hearing like they let their fear get to them, you know? And I think that like and that's what I keep like I keep on hearing too. It's interesting too because it's funny because there's somebody in spirit talking about this and they keep on saying, remember, all hope is not lost. But I keep on hearing hope is not lost. But if you get into, hold on, they're being very clear about this. Hope is not lost. But if you get into it with someone, right? If you get into it with someone, like I keep on hearing, like, don't scratch. I keep on hearing, don't. It's funny because they're saying, don't scratch them in a way that you can't take back. Is what I keep on hearing. It's funny that they're saying that because I don't know if there's some kind of energetic. It's like I keep on hearing like the space by which like I keep on hearing somebody say, remember, you are talking like you like the answers to your questions are answered if you don't say why are they being mean to me, if you say to them, if you say to yourself, why are they terrified, and that's coming through really strong from spirit. Like that's the thing about it is what I keep on seeing. Remember, I keep on hearing you're not dealing with someone, you're not, and I keep on hearing terrified energy doesn't do anything that makes a lick of sense beyond feeling energetically protective of the self, is what I keep on hearing. And it's interesting too, because like that that modality or that experience, right? Like the energy that is terrified will find offense. The energy that is terrified will find offense at the slightest inconvenience, is what I keep on hearing. The energy, I don't know, this is somebody from spirit that's saying this. They're saying the energy that is terrified will find offense at the slightest inconvenience, right? Because they're lacking empathy. They're lacking absolute empathy. They feel like everything is directed to the self. They don't have any conscientious thought about how another person may be feeling or experiencing something, is all I keep on hearing. And that's why I keep on hearing like I've got some kind of energy here, says give them the gift. If they want proximity, you give it to them in multitude. You give them, say to yourself, like say, I am giving them the gift of my proximity. I am giving them that distance, right? Is what I keep on seeing. And it's not, and I keep on hearing, it's not pushing someone away. It's not pushing someone away. It's the observation of saying, if anything I do is something that you find fault with or harm in, then I am giving you the most abundant gift I can give you, which is my energetic distance from you. And I keep wondering, you don't have to be mean about it. You don't have to be mean about it. You're giving them the time to recognize that fear is coming from no other source. I keep on hearing that is, you've got a guide saying they need to recognize that fear call is coming from inside their house, is what I keep on getting. That this is a guide on the other side, man. They're in spirit and they're saying you need to give them the gift of proximity to help them recognize that fear call is coming from within their own house. It's not something that another person is doing to them. It's something that they are generating within the self. Because everything I keep on seeing here, it's, I feel like it's a lot of this, like it's a lot of that there. And again, I feel like it's hard because it's I keep wondering, it's hard. I keep wondering, there's no way to help another person see that you are energetically harmless, right? And I keep on hearing the shape of fear is the space by which you articulate to another that you have to look out for other people, is what I keep on hearing. And I feel like that's the type of stuff that I'm seeing around something. And that's why I keep on hearing, even now, like I keep on hearing like you've got a guide that just says stay out of it. Like stay out of it. Like when someone, and I even in the space by which like I just keep on hearing, like I know how heavy it is. Like, but I feel like that is exactly, and the funny thing about it is it almost feels like some kind of energy that I don't know why I've got three different energies trying to like articulate and identify or feel like you gave someone preferential treatment to something. And that's why I keep on seeing like that's the modality by which I keep on hearing like you have to like just be, I keep on hearing like you just have to be like you have to be, I keep on hearing when someone is articulating upon preferential treatment, you give everyone equidistant, is what I keep on hearing. Right? Like when others are articulating about preferential treatment, then everybody suddenly gets equal distance, is what I keep on hearing. All right. Bottom of the deck. Yeah. especially with the six, like especially with the six of especially with the six of wands and it's upright, right? um your job, like I keep on hearing, you can't, your job is not to be the messenger or the conveyor belt between others issues, is what I keep on hearing. I literally see a situation where you're trying to tell others and say, I cannot be the glue, right? And I keep on hearing like the space by which you articulate upon not being the I keep hearing the space by which you articulate upon not being glue is saying, I'm going to give you everything you need. Here are all of the tools. Here's everything you need to do. Here's everything you need to be able to fix something. Here's everything that you need to know. I'm not going to effectively, I'm not going to effectively do it for you, right? The space by which you articulate and define upon something. And I keep on seeing, and I think that there's almost something important there, because I keep on seeing, and again, it's interesting because I keep on hearing what you convey, you condone, is what I keep on seeing. And that's the conversation you may need to have with someone, which is the space by which you say, I keep on hearing you say to someone, I am not your conveyor belt. Is what, like, I'm not your conveyor belt, which is the space by which you say to another person, right? Like this is what it takes to energetically get along, right? It's, I keep on hearing, it's the identification point in being able to recognize and amplify what that work is. And so I feel like there's something important there about you being able to articulate that and define that, that allows something to be able to be done in a better fashion. Thank you so much for having, and I feel like that, and that's what I mean. Like, and I think that there's also, like, and I keep on hearing this, like, yeah, like I just keep on hearing the same thing. It's like, have you tried putting some compassion on it? Which is when another person comes towards you complaining about something, being like, have you considered, like I keep on hearing, give them the gift of compassion, which is saying, have you considered how they might be experiencing something? You know, like that's the thing you have to say. Like, I feel like that's the gift you can give to another person, saying, have you thought about how they might be experiencing that? Right? Like giving, I keep wondering, give someone the gift of your perception, which is to say, this is how it feels for me. Imagine how it must feel for them. Thank you so much for having that reading with me, Ella. And if this message connected to you as well, it's very common for those who need these messages to be here to experience them. We are doing personal readings right now. If you would like to get on the list, the list is closed today, but you can get on the list for tomorrow and you'll be the first person read for. I'm going to take a moment to read over some of the comments that came through as I was reading. Okay. And thank you, Abby, for the follow. Gloria, thank you so much for sharing the live. Always appreciate when you guys share the live. Kinesia, we are doing one card readings for subscribers shortly. If you'd like to become a subscriber, you'll be able to have a one card pull. All right. Rainbow. That's funny. Yep, Julia, yep, thank you for confirming that, Julia. Absolutely. I go against the grain and they hate it. Confirmation. It's a self-righteous remark, really. Yeah, sending you support on that, Ella. I pulled back recently in a more profound way. That's, yeah, that's my gramps. I have goosebumps. No, they were like, I keep on, I know, like I keep on seeing, like I keep on hearing, like I was hearing somebody in spirit just shouting, stay out of it. Like stay, I keep on hearing a stay, like stay out of it is what I keep on hearing. Illuminate, thank you for those gifts. I feel like they would take, yeah, again, they would take when someone, that's what I was getting, when they would take, like when someone is letting the slightest, like when there's nothing that you can do that they can't like that they can't, like that they won't find offense with, then that's that, like that's your cue. I keep wondering, that's your cue to step back. Is what I keep wondering. That's your cue to step back. And thank you as well, Nikki. Spot on. Goosebumps this entire reading. Welcome back, Hannah. Yes, would be offended by any convo. So why I'm backing off. Yep. A very wise decision. Yeah, and you saw how all of the cards flew out transverse. Mm-hmm. I'm literally writing all this down. It's beyond accurate. Thank you for that confirmation. But I need to point this out. Like that's what exactly these are Ella's cards, but the message was these are not your cards. Like that's the that's the beginning. Like those are not my cards. I'm not taking them. Like that's kind of the vibe of the reading. Oh, I don't know what that is, Nikki. No, but that's what's important about it, Hannah. Even the fact that these cards came out when it was your reading and then it was Ella's, like that's the message of the reading, being like when someone's like these are your cards, being like those are not my cards. Yep. Especially with the new child, but finding ways to energetically connect. Sending you so much support on that journey, Ella. Equidistance has been served. I like that. The list is closed today. Good, but you can get on for tomorrow. You'll be the first person read for. Have a great day. Day. Yes. I'm down to no problem, Fig. Grand Rising, dear. Last night, sending you so much support on that journey, Rainbow. All right, let's continue right now. The next person on the list for today is Hannah. Hannah, if you're here, I got you, dear. Excellent. We're doing a dream interpretation. And before we continue, let's do an intuition check. I've got the animal spirit guide cards here. I'm going to count back from 10, and when we get to 1, I will reveal the card. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We got the hind. Thank you guys for participating. We'll do that again after the next reading. All right, let's get to it. All right, where are we? All right, we've got Hannah here. We're doing a dream in the disco. Just bear with me a moment. Okay, where are we? Ooh, we've got 2 parts to this dream. And I'm going to pin it up here. Guys, make sure to give Hannah some love. Part 1. My dream started off with me driving in traffic. I was headed to take my son to get food and drop him off at daycare. I had to go to work that night and work the closing shift. I was going to waitress at a restaurant that I used to work at in real life. The traffic was terrible, and it felt like I had to drive really far to get there. When we finally reached that side of town, we stopped at a fast food restaurant. The experience was strange. They gave us only crumbs for fries instead of a full order, and the chicken nuggets looked completely different. I remember commenting on how ridiculous it was that they barely gave me any fries. They were also out of their normal bags and were using baggies to give us the food. The whole place seemed really disorganized and chaotic. After that, we went to the daycare, but it didn't really feel like a daycare. This part of the dream is most confusing to explain. There were people who were working at the daycare, and I wasn't worried about leaving my son there. But then when I went into the basement, my old boss and some former coworkers were there, and they were doing IT work. I was talking with some of them and specifically remember talking about how I can get addicted to almost anything. To get back upstairs, I had to take an elevator, but before I could, they said I needed to go undergo some sort of procedure or injection that might make me feel sick. Or maybe it was that the elevator itself might make me sick. The odd thing is the building was also where my son's daycare was located, so it felt like my old job and daycare were mixed together. Part two, I finally went up the elevator, which felt more like a room. I was in an elevator with a bunch of drunk people who had just come from a football game. At one point, I accidentally leaned against a light switch and everyone started freaking out. I stayed calm and just switched it back on. When I was walking to the car, there was also a bunch of people who were clearly intoxicated walking to their cars. Even though I was really anxious about being late to work, I ended up making it to my car and arriving on time to work. I've been having a lot of weird dreams lately, and but the second I wake up, I can't recall any details. This is the first dream this is the first dream in a while I've been able to actually write down. I will add that Pluto is in my first house and I'm a Scorpio rising, so I think there is something to be said with the current transits. Oh, absolutely. Okay. Can I please get can I get 4 cards, please? Actually, because you got on early, Hannah, you'll be getting 5 cards. 5 cards for Hannah. 2, 3, 4. And one more. Oh, wow. Okay. All right. So we're gonna break down this. There's a lot going on in the stream. So we're gonna break it up piece by piece. Okay. So the first part of the dream, we defined about the fact that you said that you were starting off with you driving in traffic. Now, the one thing that we want to articulate upon here is whenever we see movement in dreams, it can often be indicative of relationships. So we're seeing here that you're starting the space of the dream, recognizing and identifying that there is traffic there. So this is potentially working through issues related to relationships. Um, Now, this is where, so we said here, you have to take your son to get food and drop him off at daycare, and then you have to go to work and that night, and you have to work the closing shift. Okay, so and you were going to waitress at a restaurant that you used to work at in real life. The traffic was terrible and I felt like you had to drive really far to get there. So this is talking about the difference. Okay, now this is talking about the difference between your experience of doing things versus the experience of others that are inhabiting the space of seeing you. The observed reality of the relationships is the fact that you don't have enough time, that you are basically, you're in a space where it feels like there isn't enough of you to go around, right? And so even in the space by which you said that you are trying to navigate, you look at all of the things that you are doing, right? The difference in relationships between potentially others that are just working through the facilitation of doing whatever they feel like doing at any point in time, right? The energetic liberty of moving with autonomy versus having energy that relies upon the self. So we see even now, we see you navigating this giant bird, like this giant birth of responsibilities. So you're trying to get someone food, you're trying to take them to daycare, you have to go to work, and then you're trying to run the closing shift, and you have to work at a restaurant that you used to work at in real life. So what's basically happening is they're showing you in the space of traffic how difficult it is for you to be able to navigate effectively, and understanding that it requires the space of those in your life having compassion for everything that you're trying to do at once. The responsibility of those that you're trying to bring care to, right? The responsibility of the space of the professional sphere, and also trying to navigate past relationships on top of all of that, right? So this is everything. This is the shape of the traffic that you're navigating. Now, you said when you finally reached the side of town that you were supposed to get to, you stopped at a fast food restaurant, and you said the experience was strange because they only gave you crumbs for fries instead of a full order, and the chicken nuggets looked completely different. And you remember commenting on how ridiculous it was that they barely gave you any fries. And they said they were also out of their normal bags and were using baggies to give you the food. You said the whole thing seemed really disorganized and chaotic. And then you described the fact that you said that you went to the daycare, but it didn't really feel like a daycare. The part of the dream that you said is most confusing to explain. There were people there who were working at the daycare and weren't worried about leaving your son there, right? They weren't really worried about you leaving your son there. And then you said when you went to the basement, you said the old boss and former coworkers were there and they were doing IT work. And you're like, you're talking to some of them and you remember talking about how you can, and you said, and this is interesting, you said specifically you remember talking to them about how you can get addicted to almost anything. Now, this is where we see that there's the important thing, right? Because the observation of going to the restaurant was the ability to feel energetically nourished by relationships. So we see here that the space by which you said that it was energetically strange because you said that it felt like you were getting crumbs instead of fries and a full order and the chicken nuggets that look completely different, right? This could be talking about the impact it may feel that you're having in relationality to others that are not having sympathy for how much work you have to do on the day to day, which is the space by which potentially I keep on saying that the restaurant is the space by which others aren't having compassion. They're not being energetically appreciative to the fact that you're operating like that you're doing so many things. But the fact that they start, like I keep on hearing, like the space by which another person isn't energetically connecting with you, but it's the I keep on seeing it and I keep on hearing like the thing about that is the observation of you even described the fact that you said that the space by which the restaurant is occurring is potentially working upon the prioritization point of what it is that you're energetically trying to do effectively. So this is potentially helping you to resolve upon how to, and I feel like it's interesting because like I feel like the guides are effectively giving you like indicators or spaces to help you recognize, and I keep on seeing the healthy relationships that feel like they are nourishing restaurants, which is the space by which another person does not, I keep on hearing, does not get weird in the fact that you're trying to do something effectively, but is there to effectively support you, right? Like wants to like says like what do you need? How can I help you? And then I can even see in the space by which you articulated, and I need to point this out, you said like you said like the and I feel like the difference there is the space by which you identified or articulated the disorganization and the chaos may be feeling like I keep on hearing the impact of those that are not having that sense of, especially with this three of swords here, like understanding the energetic pressure that you're under. You then articulated about the fact of the daycare. And what's interesting about this is it's showing an even deeper level of energetic care that you feel like you have to bring to things because the space by which you articulated that you said that those at the daycare did not seem that concerned about taking care of your energetic child. This is also the space that you said that when you went into the basement you found old boss and coworkers there and they were doing IT work. Remember how we articulated upon the understanding and the recognition of working towards healing. And I feel like this is you kind of going through some kind of karmic closure and relationality to energy that was potentially too demanding upon you. Because I need to describe the fact that every time you're going places, you're seeing things that don't feel like they're energetically supportive to you, right? So, and I keep on seeing, like, especially with the daycare, like it's almost like the observation of looking at something and saying, "What are you doing here?" Right? And the space that you are observing that they were doing IT work. I want to describe this as, and this is potentially talking about the I keep on getting some kind of sense about energy, potentially in the past, that was making the building into the space of articulating upon what one's energetic priorities should be based upon or built upon. And so what I think that's interesting about that is, and I love the fact that even in the space by which you were talking to the energy at the daycare, you said that you can become addicted to almost anything. It almost says to me that it's the space by which you're articulating upon the ability to effectively adapt, right? The ability of being energetically adaptable, or the ability of articulating towards an adaptability point. And I feel like that is almost amplifying the healing that you're going through, because I keep on seeing the space by which another person articulates upon adaptability is not one that I keep on hearing, it's not the space by which you are effectively building upon the choices about why someone that was working towards you in the past would make the choice to work at a daycare, but more the observation of saying, of the understanding or the identification point of how much you yourself have grown in your adaptability to being able to expand upon the circumstances or situations that you find yourself in. Now, what's interesting about this is you spoke about the need or the desire to get back upstairs, but having to utilize an elevator. And you said before you could that you needed to undergo some kind of procedure so that you wouldn't feel sick, or maybe that the elevator itself might make you feel sick. You said the odd thing was the building was also where my son's daycare was located, so it felt like an odd job for the daycare and the space to be mixed together. So this is effectively articulating upon, and what's interesting about this is I feel like this is you working into the context. I keep on feeling like this dream is the guides revealing to you how to effectively energetically clear anything that feels like it's causing, I keep on hearing anything that feels like it's causing traffic, instead of allowing for the space of building into the efficiency of the self. So that ability of understanding or working through something. And I keep on seeing like the ability of another person making you feel like you need to undergo a painful procedure in order to energetically get anywhere. This is the amplification of the relationships that you may feel like you're trying to clear from the experience of moving towards things effectively, which is the space by which you may be navigating someone being energetically passive aggressive, or making things more difficult, right? Like the procedure by which another person isn't building clarity upon things, but is just making something energetically difficult. So that space by which I see, and I need to point this out because you even articulated in the fact that you'd identified that there was a part two, that you said that there was an elevator that felt like it was a room with a bunch of drunk people who had just come in from a football game. This is having to do, and this is giving you the clarity. I need to point this out. This is the clarification point of the entire space of the dream, which is we see you in the context of having to navigate multiple different priorities, and then encountering others that are being energetically lackadaisical in their own priorities, right? And so when you're trying to get to the bottom of that and being like, why are these situations or circumstances situations by which others aren't prioritizing the same way, you come into the space of the elevator and you get the clarification. What do you find at the top of the elevator? You find a bunch of drunk people who had just come from a football game. And you said at one point you leaned against the light switch and everyone started freaking out. And then you just stayed calm and turned the light switch back on, which is talking about potentially identifying that the source of traffic as it relates to the difficulties in partnerships or relationships has to do with energy that isn't putting the same amount of consideration and care in what they're prioritizing, but more just focusing on what serves the immediate needs of the self, right? Like that is the source of all of the energetic problems in the dream space, right? You enter the restaurant and it seems like nothing is getting done. Why? Because everyone's just serving the self. They're not thinking about the prioritization point in terms of what they're trying to do effectively. You arrive to the daycare. the daycare wasn't doing anything. Why? Because the energy at the daycare wasn't working upon taking care of children. They were doing IT work. Why are they doing IT work in a daycare? It's not about collecting information. It's about being able to focus on the care of the energy around the self. So we see even now that in that space, the identification point is not the fact that you're the one causing energetic traffic, but rather being able to identify and recognize the source of the prioritization of those surrounding the self. So I keep on seeing that in a way, the dream space is effectively creating a reorientation point in terms of potentially if these are circumstances or situations where you have a tendency of overly internalizing things, rather recognizing and identifying where that energetic source of difficulty is, if it's existent within the self. And I feel like it's interesting because I feel like the space by which this dream is being given to you is almost serving as a reminder not to over internalize outside problems. Because you even identified the fact that you said that when you were walking to their car, there were a bunch of people who were clearly intoxicated walking to their cars. And you said, even though I was really anxious about being late to work, I ended up making it to my car and arriving on time to work. And you've been having a lot of weird dreams lately. So this is potentially, I would not be surprised if you're going through some kind of karmic clearing right now, where you're identifying the difference between the prioritization points in terms of what you prioritize versus the energy surrounding the self. Because I keep on seeing like the understanding the source of traffic would potentially exist in the space where another person is taking something too personally instead of understanding the type of energetic pressure that you are effectively under in terms of trying to navigate or do a lot of things at once. Bottom of the deck on this reading. Yeah, you see here, especially with the 6 of cups in its reversal, this works towards I keep on hearing when we're in a healthy space, we build gratitude for what it is we energetically give to one another, right? A healthy relationship is one that does not feel like it's energetically demanding. I would be very curious about whether you're going through or in the last time you had a Saturn return was. Because this type of energy that I'm reading into in the space of this dream is often the type of energy I see when someone's going through a Saturn return. The thing with the energy that we're having right now, and it's funny that you brought it up, is because we've got Saturn dipping back and forth in Pisces and Aries, it's creating a lot of Saturn return moments in spaces where Saturn returns typically aren't happening. So this could be something that may be happening right now in relationality of helping you recognize and identify what feels energetically reliable. And I keep on hearing like the guides almost articulating upon I keep on hearing in terms of building into reliable energy, pay attention to what others are prioritizing. Thank you so much for having that reading with me, Hannah. And if this message connected to you as well, it's very common for those who need these messages to be here to experience them. We are doing personal readings right now. If you would like to get on the list is closed today, but you can get on the list for tomorrow and you'll be the first person read for. I'm going to take a moment to read over some of the comments that came through as it was reading. We're also at 33.2K likes. When we get to 50K, I'll be gifting a reading back to the collective. So make sure you're tapping that screen and we'll get to 50K in no time. This is a whole saga. How are you doing today, Nikki? It does. It does remind me a little bit of your kitten meat dreams. It really does. And Anars, thank you for sharing the live. Always appreciate when you guys share the live. Absolutely. Yep. This was the least weird of my dreams, but I was happy to remember a dream for once. It was a thank you for sharing it. It's a really deep dream. And Ryan, your subscription's ending soon if you'd like to renew. Oh, beautiful. Yes, I try to carry it at all, even when I don't need to. And that's what I keep on seeing, right? Of building into the space by which the guides are saying, pay attention to energy that appreciates everything that you do, that doesn't take it energetically personal by the fact, like I keep on seeing, like that has to do with like the intoxicated energy. This was not, this was a personal reading, Jay. And Hardy, thank you for those roses, dear. Me overly internalizing. I feel like that's the thing about it. It's like they're saying, like, they're actually saying, like, don't, the dream itself feels like not avoiding the tendency of over internalizing an outside problem. And I feel like that is even the space by which you're, like, I keep on hearing your pragmatism will be shocking to those that are energetically intoxicated with the self, because I keep on seeing, it's like you just, I keep on hearing like you just turning the light switch of being like, why, like, why don't we just do it this way? Like, why don't we just do it? Why don't we just do it this way? It just seems a lot more efficient that way. I'm not in my Saturn return, but this was really helpful. But again, you may be going through a pseudo Saturn return given the placements that we're seeing. I've not no I have noticed I've been doing that a lot lately with work, even when I know it's pointless. Thank you for confirmation, dear. All right, we're going to continue right now. And thank you again. The next person on the list for today is Ava. Ava, if you're here, can you respond in all caps? Let me know if you'd like a general reading or if you have a specific question you'd like me to answer. We're also at 33.8K likes. When we get to 50K, I will be gifting a reading back to the collective. So make sure you're tapping that screen and we'll get to 50K in no time. All right. And just bear with me one moment, please. Okay. I didn't know where there were pseudo, like here's like no new, but here's no, it's, I've been calling it, the thing is, and I gotta just stress, the thing about I've been seeing, at least in my readings, is that the fact, but the fact that Saturn, like the placement that Saturn is in right now, and the fact that it keeps dipping into Pisces and then moving back into Aries, it's like it's creating a lot of these, like, I keep on calling them like pseudo Saturn returns, which, like, it feels like you're going through a Saturn return. Multiple Saturn returns in 1 year. It's been doing a number on all of us, you know? All right. And let's just take a moment here. I've got you. We're going to be reading for Ava. But before we continue, let's do an intuition check. I've got the animal spirit guide cards here. We're going to count back from 10. And when we get to 1, I will reveal the card. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. The bee. Thank you for participating. We'll do that again after the next reading. All right. What do we have here? All right. I'm going to pin up Ava here. Hold on a moment. All right, guys, make sure to give Ava some love. Okay, in the past reading, ooh, okay, in the past reading, you said I had beef with Devon, with, hold on a minute. You're putting words in my mouth. Hold on a minute. Okay. Hold on. Okay, in past reading, okay, you said I had beef with divine counterpart in past life because I dedicated life to path work. My counterpart was ready for connection and I wasn't. I know I'm ready in this lifetime, but I'm worried that this time our roles could be switched and they won't be. Could we read on how this karma will influence our first impressions and connections in this lifetime? So basically, and to give a little clarity to what Ava's talking about, in some of the readings that we've been seeing, there's been some unresolved karma between them and another person in relationality to working through an energetic choice. I keep on hearing an energetic choice that they made that led to separation. So let me see if I can get some clarification on that. Okay. Woo! Okay. Yep. 2 more, please. Thank you. And I'm going to pin up. Hold on. Where, okay. Got you. All right. Wow. I mean, I'm just going to, Ava, I'm going to show you the cards. I'm gonna show you the cards and then I'll kind of I'll tell you like what I'm seeing. Okay? With a Knight of Wands energy. So what I'm effectively identifying, I mean the one thing I'm gonna stress on this is I don't see a context by which um I don't see a it's what's interesting about it is I don't see a context by which it's going to impact the connection in this life so much as it I would say um I see somebody who I've got to tell you here like I'm getting the type of vibration of someone who has you're going to recognize this person because they have a deep wound in relationality to others. um I keep on hearing in relationality to others who I keep on hearing make choices more out of fear than out of care. And it's actually interesting because and it's interesting too because I see somebody, I keep on, and the funny part about it is I keep on hearing somebody who is, and do you see how loud it's gotten since I've even started the reading? I see somebody who's very, very energetically devout about something. You know what I mean? Like, and I keep on seeing the fact that they're devout is I keep on hearing like I keep on hearing they're very devoted energy. But the thing I keep on hearing is I feel like that you'll recognize them because I keep on hearing that they understand. I keep on hearing they understand the difference between being energetically devoted to things. I keep on hearing they understand the difference between devoted and devout is what I keep on hearing. That's how you're going to effectively recognize them. Because I keep on hearing that the space by which another person is able to amplify and articulate that I keep on hearing I keep on getting I keep on hearing them say devotion is what we do in the face of our fear, right? Devotion is what we move towards in the face of our fear. I keep on hearing it's not something that we do to remediate for it. Is all I keep on hearing. And so there's something I keep on getting. There's something really energetically important about that because I keep on seeing. I would not be surprised if this energy comes from a very strict or repressed upbringing is what I keep on getting. I feel like I see somebody who grew up in some kind of very strict, strict upbringing. I keep on hearing like I feel like um, the wound that was occurring between you and them, um, like transferred. I feel like I keep on hearing it transferred over into the context of the energy that they were surrounded by. And I keep on seeing that the space by which it's surrounded by, and I keep on hearing it helps them understand it, is what I keep on getting. And I feel like that, wow, that's really intense because I'm getting some kind of sense that in the karmic experience of the past relationship, I see somebody that worked through something and said, I'll never understand. Like that's where you left like a conversation with them saying, I'll never understand why you would make that energetic choice. And I almost see them now, like the reason that they're going through their own healing process is they're going to come towards you and they're going to be like, I had to go through it myself. Like I understand it profoundly. Like I see the energy, like I don't think they're going to they're not going to hold it against you because they understand. I keep on hearing they understand it now is what I keep on seeing. They're like, no, they're like, I grew up with it. I keep on hearing, I was made in it is what I keep on hearing. They're like, I was made in it is what I keep on seeing. Like they understand it. Like they understand it better than anyone. And I almost keep on hearing them say that it took them a lot of, like, it took them a lot of energy. Like that was like, and I feel like that's like that's the force of love that someone effectively is coming towards you in. Like it's like they it's like not the fact that they don't understand it. Like they were created in it is what I keep on seeing. They're like, yeah, I know it. I know it. I know it deeper than you could even imagine. Bottom of the deck. Yeah. So there's something I keep on seeing. There's something really energetically restorative about you coming into union. And I need to point this out because the energy, I keep on hearing, the energy of coming into union is often articulated in understanding the full weight of the context by which we make our choices, right? And often I keep on hearing their journey. You have to understand it's not the fact that you did something wrong, right? It's the identification point of being able to contextualize and understand what was happening between you and another person. And so I almost feel like the thing I keep on seeing here is the space by which there was a rift between you and another person, because I almost see them saying, like, just don't. And you being like, it's not that simple. It's complicated, right? Another person articulating that. I feel like they themselves have been going through that work of understanding that now. Like I feel like they've been going through a maturation process where I keep on hearing you're going to find them not in the space by which they're going to continue. They're not going to be the same way you left them, which I'm being like, I don't understand. They're going to be like, I understand profoundly. Like they're like, I understand profoundly because they're like they had to go. They I keep on hearing they like they were immersed in it. Thank you so much for having that reading with me. Ava, and if this message connected to you as well, it's very common for those who need these messages to be here to experience them. We are doing personal readings. The list is closed today, but we're going to get started on one card readings for subscribers. If you are a subscriber and would like a card pulled, you can go ahead and put your question in the comments. If you'd like to become a subscriber, your super fan status will entitle you to a free one card. And if you would like an animal spirit guide card, just make sure that you're recharging your heart needs. I'm going to take a minute to read over some of the comments that came through as it was reading. Oh, yes, I apologize. Wait, hold on the one cards, Julia. Yes, we've got you on the list too. I'm not sure how that happened. I put the, that was mine. Yep, I got you. Julia, and then we're doing the one cards. I apologize for that. Goldfish. All right, hold on a minute. I love the bee. I know, I love it too. It's interesting how I will think of something is insignificant in my dream, but it's usually a big take. Oh, absolutely. I like that. Yep. Away anyway, yep. Away when you do a reading on it. Yes. Counterpart reading. Hopelessly devoted. You're so welcome, Ava. Yep. And just pause, guys, on the one cards. We have a reading for Julia, and then we're going to get started on one cards. Okay. I was just thinking, what if Sin stops with doing this? Oh, no. Not going to happen, dear. All right, let's continue. And heads up, Snoo, your subscription's ending soon if you'd like to renew. Everyone pause on the one cards. Before we do one cards, we've got Julia's reading coming through. But that's intriguing. Julia, can you let me know if we're doing a general reading or if you have a specific question you'd like me to answer? And as we do so, I've also got the animal spirit guide cards here. Oh, thank you for letting me know where it is, dear. I appreciate that. All right, I've got the animal spirit guide card here and count back from 10. When we get to 1, I will reveal the card. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. The frog. I've already got, yep. Hold on a minute. And just bear with me, I need to pull up the question. One second. Hold on a minute. Okay, I got the question. All right, can I please get, all right, I'm gonna pin up Julia here. 4 cards. Thank you. 2 more. Wow. So, the thing I keep on seeing in relationality to like finances, I feel like I keep on seeing, like, I keep on hearing, I don't know why you're having a conversation with someone in relationality to locationality, but I almost keep on hearing a conversation that's happening between you and another person in relationality to where you are, where I keep on hearing you saying to someone in one way, shape, form, or fashion that the well has run dry, is what I keep on seeing. And I feel like that is the hard part that I almost see that you're saying to someone, which is like I keep on seeing it's like the observation. I keep on feeling like there's something that you're trying to articulate to someone. I don't know why I keep on hearing that there's something that you're doing that I keep on hearing, like I keep on hearing somebody going like location, 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 because and it's not, I keep on hearing it's not everything is like that. It's not I keep on hearing not everything is like that. But some things are like that, is what I keep on seeing. And especially, I don't know if there's something that you do that is tactile, is what I keep on hearing. I don't know why I'm getting some kind of tactile, like tacticality to something, wherein, like I keep on hearing, especially when we touch others, but the space by which we do something tactile, then location matters, is what I keep on seeing. Because I keep on feeling like you're trying, like I keep on seeing, I don't know, it's like a conversation you're having with someone that says like that something benefits by you being like something benefits by you being energetically present for something, is what I keep on seeing. And so, and I keep on hearing like you and like another person being like, why? And you being like I see you being like this, being like, you're like, Like I cannot touch the right people here. Is what I keep on getting. You saying is I can't touch the right people here. Um, and so that's the hard part about it is like I literally see a situation where you're trying to articulate to someone the significance, and I keep on hearing you saying to someone that there is something in relationality to location, 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 because what you're effectively trying to articulate has to do with the space by which you are identifying. Um, like we're like, and I feel like there's also something about you also feeling energetically restored or in I keep on hearing something that you do that um I keep on hearing, oh, like something that you do benefits from you having um I keep on hearing a resplendent life, which is the space by which you're able to do something more effectively if you're in a space of energetic positivity. And I keep on seeing like I feel like that's the hard part. And I feel like that's the issue that I see right now is a lot of energy around you is almost looking at something that you know is necessary and feeling like it is unnecessary. Like I keep on hearing the sound of you doing something, the sound of you bettering yourself is someone else looking and being like, oh, they're trying to be extra, right? Is what I keep on seeing. So I want you to I feel like it's hard because I feel like it's the type of thing that like it's like I know like I keep on hearing you'll know when you get there, which is understand, like I keep on seeing like the space by which you understand and recognize that being in a space where you don't need to have to explain what you do to someone, like what you do for someone, but under an energy that just gets it. And I keep on hearing like that's the difference between something that you're doing. You're moving location so it doesn't feel, I keep hearing, so it doesn't feel like a perpetual tutorial. It feels like something that's just going to allow you to get to work effectively, is what I keep on hearing. Now, the hard part about that is the hard part about that is what I just said, if that makes sense. Do you know what I mean? Like, do you understand? Like when you're going through, I want you to understand like you're going through tutorial energy right now, right? Which is like the space by which you're having to explain something and you're trying to move towards a space where you don't need to overly explain it because the parlance will already be intuitive. So I feel like the hard part about that is navigating and regulating upon the energetic shift. And I need to point this out. Um, you might feel a little overwhelmed when you get there. You might feel a little bit like you're out of your league. But I need to stress this that you feeling energetically out of your league is how you know you'll be learning, is because I keep on seeing it's the space by which you recognize and identify that there's a lot to learn that allows you the ability to identify upon what it is that you're trying to do more effectively. So I want you to kind of recognize that and navigate that because I keep on seeing a space by which um like this I keep on hearing like this is the sound of you becoming a perpetual student, is the modality by which you arrive somewhere and you feel that space of effectively like learn. I keep on hearing like learning more or learning how to do something even more effectively. I want to give you some bottom of the deck, just something to keep in mind going forward. Yeah, especially I keep on saying especially with the 3 of Pentacles, I feel like there's a lot of that. I feel like I see you going through a lot of that energetic force in relationality to, there's a lot of that force in terms of like, I feel like there's something to be said in relationality to working towards identifying, um and remember when I said, like, don't get frustrated if the first place you find does not feel like it accommodates you. Because I keep on seeing that, I keep on hearing like the work that you're doing right now is location, 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 which is the space by which you're trying. And I keep on hearing it's not just the locationality of, it's not just the locationality of the self. It's the locationality by which one feels energetically comfortable or confident. Um, and so I do feel like there's a little bit of that space of giving yourself some time to get comfortable. Don't get upset if you first get somewhere and you don't immediately feel that. Just let it, I keep on hearing, give yourself time to find the stabilization point in terms of what it is that you're trying to do more effectively. Like give yourself, I keep on hearing, give yourself, give yourself an adjustment period, as it were. Thank you so much for having that reading with me. And if this message connected to you as well, it's very common for those who need these messages to be here to experience them. We are doing personal readings right now. If you would like to get on the list today is closed, but you can get on the list for tomorrow and you'll be the first person read for. 3 cards for a donation of 29 or more. 4 cards for a donation of 23 or more for my subscribers, Binks and my Lio. Please keep in mind there are 2 things I do not read for across these apps: pregnancy and medical. Happy to give insight on anything in private readings, and you can book private readings on my site. I'm going to take a moment to read over some of the comments that came through as it was reading. Okay, bear with me a moment. Julia, I'm an intuitive guide and Reiki healer. Thank you for the tangibility I was seeing. I want to be in person more right now. I feel isolated. Thank you for confirmation. Hi there, good vibes. Oh, what a beautiful way of phrasing that question, dear. Is that for your 1 card? This makes so much sense. I'm getting there. It's the hard part. There's always a hard part. I have to find an apartment by December 15th and move by January. Thank you for confirmation. Sending you support, Julia. Continue to keep your head held high. Mm-hmm. Sending you support, dear. Yes, just keep breathing. Adjustment period. You're so welcome. But again, I keep on hearing one thing at a time. Just I keep on hearing, don't get overly ahead of yourself. Okay. Okay. One moment. All right. We're going to get started now on 1 cards. If you are a subscriber and would like a card pulled, you can go ahead and put your question in the comments. If you'd like to become a subscriber, you can go to our superfan status, and becoming a superfan will make you eligible for a 1 card. You can also if you recharge your heart me's, you can also have an animal spirit guide card on top of those 1 cards. All right, 1 card for good vibes, please, in relationality to what they need to know in relationality to the connection with that person. Um, they need to decide what they want. They need to decide what they're running towards versus what they're running away from, is what I keep on seeing. Bottom of the deck. Yeah. Make sure if someone has boundary issues, like I keep on hearing none of this, like, go away, where are you? Right? Like the space by which we honor each other's wishes is you might be the most healed person they've ever met, right? Like don't let them don't let I keep on hearing don't let them twist it. This is you honoring their wishes. Animal spirit guide. Yeah, right? Like you can't I keep on hearing you can't push someone away and then say, "Where are you?" Right? This is I keep on saying this is a space by which you don't I keep on hearing like don't if they've articulated something and then it feels like they're going oppositional of what they articulated, being like, has something changed? Right? Don't I keep on hearing don't let there be weird boundaries between you and them. This makes sense. Thank you. You're so welcome, dear. Okay. Ella, energy around the lyrics. Ooh, okay. Oh. Oh wow. Okay. Woof. Speaking of which, um, this is that you can't have your cake and eat it too. You can't say that you can't find a healthy partnership but not be willing to commit to someone. Is what I keep on seeing. There's something about this energy that I'm seeing that like I feel like it's giving me it's definitely giving me the space by which they're thinking about you. But I also feel like they're thinking about like I feel like it's like it feels like somebody who's like trying like thinking about reaching out is what I keep on hearing, because all I keep on hearing in this reading is somebody thinking about pulling up, which is what I keep on devil card in its reversal. Oh my gosh. Um but this is like I feel like that's almost like the difficulty with the energy, which is I keep on you don't just pull up on things. You don't just surprise energy. You give somebody like you give somebody some and you give somebody some notice is what I keep on seeing, right? Um animal spirit guide, owl, you know? It's like the type of energy that would rather surprise someone than let them know that like how they're like what they're thinking about is what I keep on seeing, you know? Like it's interesting because I just keep on seeing some kind of modality of somebody yeah, like it's giving me somebody who's like trying to think about how to restart a conversation with you is what I keep on seeing. But I feel like it's weird because I almost see somebody who like I'm like the solution to opening a conversation is taking accountability on something, you know? I would be very conscientious if they come in with a non sequitur. Is what I keep on seeing. Ava, one card on higher self. Woof, hold on. Is doing in the 5D right now. Um, I keep on hearing what makes you think that that's not you right now. What makes you think that that's not you right now? What if what's and if you say no because I'm not, they're going what what is the distance between like where what that is and where you are is what I keep on seeing. Like what is that? Is what I keep on getting. Animal spirit guide. Yeah, especially I keep on saying especially with the dog energy. Um, I feel like I see somebody working towards something. But I keep on hearing like I keep on getting like the space by which you're saying like like it's so funny because it's like your higher self is going, "What are we? Like, what are we?" They're going, "What are we?" Like, what are like, it's funny because 'cause they're, like, they're saying it to you like it's a relationship. Like, "What's happening between us right now? What are we? What are we?" Your higher self is flirting with you. I like that. Julia, can I have a card, please, around relationships ending recently? You're going through an arc cleansing, you know? I feel like it's I feel like I feel like there's something gosh. Yeah, bottom of the deck. You know, your healing will make others energetically insecure. I know it's not easy. It's rough. It comes with the territory, right? Like I just I see like I can see some energy and I keep on hearing um like the space by which another person like articulates their worry or tries to project it out onto you versus taking accountability. Yeah, like see blank manifestation. I feel like it's almost like the space by which you say to another, like somebody saying like we don't talk anymore, and you being like, I mean, we don't talk about here. We don't talk anymore. Is almost like the space by which I see you saying to another person, like I'm here. I'm here for a healthy conversation. Is what I almost see. You know what I mean? Like I keep on seeing like it's almost it's wild to me because I almost see the fact that you haven't done anything beyond saying to another person, I'm here for a healthy conversation, right? And then suddenly where is every like well, like it's like if that's all it takes for energy to move away from you, like that is like I keep wondering like that's almost like the space by which you're becoming healed, right? It's like identifying and articulating what feels like a healthy conversation. Hannah, I got you. One card on work, please. I've been so annoyed with everyone lately. Can I get one card for Hannah, please? Um, I feel like there's a lot of energy potentially projecting right now, is what I keep on seeing. I feel like there's something you know, I feel like I want to describe like I see a lot of energy taking out their frustrations on those around them. So just I keep on hearing, make sure that you're trying to be as compassionate as possible, which is I keep on hearing like being energetically compassionate doesn't mean that you have to be a doormat for another person to take their frustration on. Like make sure that you're asking the right questions. Yeah, especially like especially with the 6 of cups, right? The ability like I feel like there's like you know like I feel like there's something that's happening in relationality to not feeling energetically supported or some kind of conversation there or working through like I keep on seeing like not I keep wondering not taking it personally because I keep on hearing it's not you. I feel like it's energy that's working through um like I keep on saying like it's I feel like there's almost this space by which I don't know why I keep on hearing something about the space by which you work. There's kind of a feeling of found family, but sometimes when we're too much in the space of find found family, we start taking things out on each other. Is what I keep on getting. You know, animal spirit guide. Yeah, like you have to potentially, sometimes you have to draw the line on that, being like, look, I know you feel comfortable here, but not allowing someone to become too comfortable, right? Like having to kind of be able to articulate upon your own boundaries. Rainbow, one card on leaving behind. Yep. Give it to time, you know? Like I keep on seeing again, it's very much the same message, which is again, don't it's not giving up on things, it's giving it to time, you know? Bottom of the deck. Yeah. Three of cups in its reversal, which is articulating upon feeling the energetic frustration of something, but then just building. I keep on hearing like it's like I feel like I see you kind of working through um the frustration point of like others. I keep hearing like working through the frustration point of others not feeling um like like I almost see you like having trying to like fix a relationship, trying to like talk to someone there, like trying to like build into the context of doing something that feels energetically supportive. Bottom of the deck, I mean, animal spirit guide. Yeah, especially with the adder energy. I keep on hearing healthy energy prioritizes us and wants the same things as us, right? It's not the space by which we force connections. It's the space by which we identify and recognize whether something feels energetically proportional is what I keep on seeing. Bridget, one card, highest priority, please. Page of Cups in its reversal. Um, this is like I keep on hearing like there's something I keep on hearing in relationality to overly apologizing for things, you know? Like the modality, I keep on hearing like a conversation that you have with another person where it's like, I don't, not wanting to hear an apology, wanting to see it, like wanting to hear a point of action or wanting to see an energetic change in something. So, like, make sure you're having conversations in relationality to how one could be doing something better, which is not the space by which another person articulates upon the fact that they feel sorry about something, but being able to articulate upon whether there's something they could do in a better way. Bottom of the deck, yeah, especially with the Nine of Cups in its upright, I feel like there's a lot of that space by which it's working through. Like, I keep on hearing, like, it's working through what feels like I keep wondering when we're healthy conversations, we equip each other with what we need, right? We give each other we give each other the tools to be able to do something. We don't ask each other to do them for each other, is what I keep on hearing. Animal spirit guide. Yeah, especially with the earth dragon, you know, I feel like the earth dragon energy talks to us about um like the earth dragon taught like I keep on hearing like someone that tries to say like, oh, you know how I am, and being like, it's not about how you are, it's about how you could be. It's not about it's not about I keep on hearing I keep on hearing it's not about resting on the laurel of something that we can't do. It's about identifying what it is that we're working to do better, is what I keep on hearing, you know? It's like you don't it's not you'll have to forgive me. It's like, okay, but this is what that would take, is what I keep on hearing. Hold on a minute. Good. 1 minute. How you doing today, Erica? Godfrey, thank you for the follow. A non sequitur is someone that just like drops something in that's like completely not connected to what it is you were talking about. Yep. Hold on a minute. Oh my gosh, sending you support on that. Good. Oh, sending you support, Ella. Highest priority for Nikki, please. um, I keep on hearing. I keep on hearing the message that there's something. When we care about each other, we build sanctuary for each other, which is the space by which I feel like it's like I keep on seeing it, and I feel like this is like the conversation of effectively articulating or building into. I keep on hearing like building into the comfortability of relationship, and I keep on hearing it's like it's interesting because it's coming through from somebody in spirit that says like the force of love is the articulation that says I go through things so that you don't have to, right? Like the space by which we create the space by which we create sanctuary is the space by which we don't create uncomfortability for one another, but that we work to create safe spaces for each other is what I keep on seeing. Bottom of the deck on this reading, like especially with the death card in its reversal, right? I keep on hearing like it's interesting because it's a message that's coming through from someone in spirit that says the reason I keep on hearing the reason that something feels like it's falling apart right now in relationality to something in the present is because somebody used to be that energetic pillar. They used to go through things so that others wouldn't have to, right? I keep on hearing they would put a kibosh on things. They would just say like, that's not, we're not doing that. So I feel like, again, working into the space of recognizing and understanding like how you can effectively energetically be that doing that work of integrity, which is the observation of saying like, no, I'm not gonna have that conversation with them because it's not even a conversation that I want to pass across my lips. You know what I mean? Like it's that type of thing. Animal spirit guide. Yeah, especially I keep on hearing like especially with the water dragon, like it works through the context or the space by which we articulate and amplify what it is that we're trying to do in a better way, like that amplification of care that I keep on hearing it's not the space by which we have to effectively articulate upon like how we're feeling, but it's the space by which we're able to, I keep on hearing like the space by which we're able to create something that feels energetically positive or working into the context of what is positive or possible. Haley, one card, please. Highest priority for Haley. Um, your job is not to be perfect. Your job is to do the best that you can, is what I keep on hearing. Bottom of the deck on this reading. Yeah, especially with the Queen of Cups. Like the Queen of Cups effectively talks to like I feel like it's almost saying to me like I'm getting like some kind of energy in relation now. I feel like it's the type of energy that I'm seeing in relationality to I keep on hearing you don't need to have a conversation with someone who has hurt you, right? Like that's not you. Like that's not you being cruel. That's you being careful, is what I keep on hearing. Animal spirit guide. Yeah, especially with the salmon, right? You get to decide what a healing conversation is, right? Like if somebody comes back to you and they say like, "Oh, I'm ready to apologize," it's like you don't have to be present for it. You can be like, "We're good." Is what I keep on hearing. Like the space by which I keep on hearing an apology isn't a true apology if another person's insisting that it would be healthy to have one. That's often the articulation of someone that is doing something more from the sense of their own feeling of indulgence rather than being respective in relationality to how you feel about something. So I keep on hearing, don't like it's not I keep on hearing it's not polite to insist. Courtesy is respecting each other's wishes. You're so welcome, Ella. Thank you for the follow, Godfrey. And you knew it was going to be blank. Thank you for confirmation as well, Julia. Yes, I set boundaries and they were like, I don't want to honor that. So I walk away, sending you support, dear. Exactly my scenario. Those are the last words I said before a week. Oh, sending you support, dear. Rainbow, my kingdom for a sapphic lass, not allergic to accountability. Oh, I love it. Erica, your subscription's ending soon if you'd like to renew. Good to see you today, dear. I'm so glad that makes sense, Hannah. And Denise, thank you for the heart me's. Heidi, these are one card readings for subscribers. So if you'd like to become a super fan, I'm happy to draw a card for you. I'm just seeing so many things not in alignment and frankly offensive. But here's the thing. Like, don't worry about others' alignment. Just focus on your own. You know, that's the thing, Rainbow. You'll go nuts. You'll go nuts worrying about other people's alignment. That's that path is not it's not going to be helpful. I understand the idea of not taking things personally and see patterns. That's wild because this lady I'm sitting for is apologizing for not coming in until midnight, and I'm going, hold on, one moment, and I'm going to visit a friend 3 hours. Oh, that is really frustrating, Bridget. I do not have energy anymore. Lash out. Beautifully stated. Nor should you. I'm okay. Oh, sending you. I'm glad to hear that you're getting support on that, Bridget. Emma, I got you, dear. Where to put focus? I feel like it's being present in terms of the energy that is trying to help you lift things, is what I keep on seeing. You know, like I keep on hearing I keep on hearing like the space by which we support each other is the space by which we articulate and identify like what that means or what that is. Bottom of the deck on this reading. Yeah, especially with the King of Swords, right? You know, like I feel I almost see that there's a little bit of this energetic refinement point in terms of trying to identify and articulate upon like what you're trying to do. And I keep on hearing like the space by which we energetically I keep on hearing like the space by which we energetically support one another is something that feels unconditional, right? It's like often I keep wondering, it's like the energy that says like, don't worry about it, being like, that's why you're energetically exceptional, right? Like the